Toycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. When 1.20 comes out, I want to have some leather armor with some silly trims on. Honestly, I want to do a lot of dumb things, and they're all going to involve Netherite ingots. Honestly, right now is the time to make Netherite ingots. If you are watching this and you've got a long-term survival world, and like me, you've been putting it off, you want to do it now because it's going to be a lot harder later to upgrade your gear if you want to do that stuff. So basically, now is the time, as I've said, and also now is conveniently enough the time where I have a bunch of wool and I have a bunch of wood and I can combine those things to make some explosives and go mining. Actually, I want to show you the results. I've been doing a little bit of mining before I started this stream, and it's been going pretty crazily, if I have to say so myself. So allow me to introduce you. Are we going to keep using mangrove logs for our beds? I guess so. It's a pretty wood type. We're probably going to need a little bit more than that. Sounds about good to me. Yeah, 21. Okay, let's do this. Let's go to the Nether. We've got 2 shulker boxes. Is that enough? I think I leave some spare ones in here too. 3 shulker boxes. Is that enough? We'll find out by going there today. So I'm going to end up with a bunch of Netherrack today also, which will be nice because I've got a big project where I'm building the Nether in the overworld. It requires... It's in the hundreds of thousands of Netherrack, so I'm still trying to collect box after box after box for that. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and I hope that you're having a good Thursday. I'm looking forward to tomorrow going back to the Java world and playing a little bit more of the, I'm looking forward to, getting Leverite in the snapshots. But today I'm working on the long-term survival world, because that's important. And a lot of people like the opportunity to not only get some good progress made, but to talk about life, the universe, and everything in between. Speaking of, Streamly Fish. Technically, that is life, the universe, or something in between. Also, is he still mad at me? He's not. What about now? Okay, let's... I think their policies are a little inconsistent, you know? I just feel like they need to pick a more consistent reason to be mad. You know, have you ever tried to attack someone because they weren't wearing the right clothing? And then they, took it off, you're like, okay, that's fine. And then they put it back on, you're like, looking forward to Java? Who are you? I know, what an insane timeline I live in. Honestly, it's a bummer. I would love to play the Bedrock previews, but ever since the update Aquatic, they've been behind. They used to get, different stuff at different times. Now, Bedrock previews are just, actually, I guess, even Caves and Cliffs, there were a few features that came to Bedrock first. Uniques and exclusives and things they made from Bedrock to Java. But they've kind of hesitated, and I wonder if there's a good reason. Never known. Never will know, perhaps. I get mad when boys wear fanny packs. It's funny because fanny means something very different. Also, good evening, young man. How are you doing today? Are you feeling okay? Says Polly E. I'm doing wonderfully, thank you for asking. I don't know why young man evokes that response from me, but that's totally what it is. Oh, I should have got some explosive armor. Because I've got an elytra on, I'm going to die. You know, we'll fly back. Using my elytra, take advantage of the... Oh, gosh. This is not helping me at all. I might as well take advantage of the best feature of the elytra. Ooh, feature of the elytra. I like that rhyme a lot. Honestly, my whole life is about finding fun rhymes and saying them at all times. Okay, let's go through here. We can do it. We can do it. Yeah. Okay, now let's go back home. Let's get some blast protection armor. I do have some Netherite armor, but I think it's got projectile protection on because it's for wither fighting only, really. We'll see what else we can do here. So, new update / snapshot for MC says Pegwin plays. Yeah, I look forward to playing it tomorrow. Man, I've been streaming every day this week, huh? Wow, look at me going for a stream phase. So yeah, also, hey Andrew, it's me, Dagon. You don't know me, but we're on a first name basis. Oh, hey Dagon, how are you doing? Definitely don't look at my beacons that I'm preparing for a beacon Netherite. This is a fun part of the Let's Play. There's the tie-in between the two of them again. I figure that's a cool thing to do because I like this world a lot, and a lot of people know it as the streaming world, but more people know it as the Let's Play world, and so feels like it makes sense to do that. So I've got projectile protection, fire protection, blast protection mending, or projectile. I think blast protection mending is more valuable than that. I could probably make the argument I need to put unbreaking on this, because I do have that lying around in one of these chests. I think this is the unbreaking chest. There we go. So somewhere in here is unbreaking to the... No, it's not. Is it in this chest? Is it in this chest? I've got Unbreaking lying around somewhere. Oh, I've got Swift Sneak as well. You know, I don't think I've put that on my leggings yet, but I probably should. Chat, are you ready to make some history today? You're actually making the beacon Netherite? Absolute mad lad. You would not believe the effort that it takes to make a beacon Netherite. You would not believe. Or maybe you would believe. Okay, you know, I have some Unbreaking books, but I have no idea where I keep them. You know, this is the problem with organization. Okay, Unbreaking. That works. Let's throw this on the chest plate, because we don't actually need it. If it's cheap, I'll throw it on. If it's expensive, I won't. Free. That seems reasonable, right? Yeah, let's do it. Let's just believe in ourselves. Blast Protection's like a valuable enough thing. And then Swift Sneak on the leggings will probably cost a lot more, I imagine. 11. It's only Swift Sneak 2 as well. You know what, chat? I don't get out of bed for Swift Sneak 2. Who do you think I am? So we could probably combine 2 Swift Sneak 2s here together. I'm pretty sure I found Swift Sneak 3 somewhere, though. I'm just gonna find out where it is. I could put Frostwalker on some boots as well. You know, it's cool how many enchantments Minecraft has. You don't realize till you're staring down a chest trying to find which ones you have. But yeah, let's put our leggings back on. Let's not Netherite upgrade this chest plate, because it really doesn't need it. Especially, oh, wow, it's lightninging again! Ah! This is the second time in 2 hours. My Let's Play world has lightninged like a dozen times since I've needed it in the super flat world. It's driving me crazy. I feel like the game is 100% taunting me. I have no idea what I've done to deserve that. I have no idea. He's actually reading chat, says Gamer Adam Studios. I always read chat. Sometimes when I'm in an intense moment, I can't. That's what's the kind of nice thing about the Let's Play is, also I think I'll just I'll take the boat all the way out, honestly. One of the nice things about the Let's Play, okay, the boat's facing the wrong way, but that's fine. We'll just rotate it. No, we won't. We'll just get another boat out. One of the nice things about the Let's Play is I'm relatively secure, which means that I can focus on reading chat, which is great. It also means, you know, we can have those, maybe slightly deeper chats that some people enjoy. Also, you can see how the middle of this becomes the outside of this eventually, but that's definitely not a problem. Don't mind me. That is also not a problem. Also don't mind me. Okay, so we're gonna fly now. Mid-air, we can equip the blast chest plate. By the way, I think I said you couldn't equip the Elytra automatically in my snapshot video, and I learned while playing around you actually can on Bedrock. I'm not sure. Maybe you didn't used to be able to, or maybe I'm just, you know, I make things up for the fun of it. But I think it was a mistake. Want to issue that correction right now. I mean, like, no one's even mentioned it, so like I could just not. But I think being informed is important, and so, you know, I want to know when something's wrong. Speaking of something being wrong, this used to be a bastion, but I destroyed it. One of my favorite parts of this world. And this is where I go mining. This is the part of my world I go mining for Netherite in. I do only have one pickaxe with me, but it'll be fine. Okay, so we have 3 shulker boxes, probably underappreciating the number I need. And yeah, if you want to see what I've done so far in my mining process, it looks a bit like this. I found some good ancient debris. But yeah, basically, I have to be very, very careful. My world is almost a gigabyte now. And so that means that the most efficient way to mine Netherite is at this layer, or mine ancient debris, is at this layer, you just mine straight on every single chunk as soon as you can. And so that's what I've mostly done. But I'm at the point where my world is getting too big to just keep loading up new Nether chunks. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start mining underneath the existing stuff. You still do have fair odds of finding stuff down there, or we could just go like left or right or backwards even. But we have to think outside the box, so we're not just exploring new chunks for the sake of exploring new chunks. It's a hard thing to do, but it's the thing that we must do. So first things first, we're going to mine a bunch of netherrack over here, just so we have like a clear way we can actually get around and across this thing. And then I guess we'll start. Yeah, we'll start. Like, let's try bedding, shall we? You know, I've always wanted to bed you, internet, and let me show you what that looks like today. Okay, so we'll place our crafting table over here, nice and visible. And we'll make some planks, and then we can make 21 brown beds, which is probably what we want. Yeah, just, oh, okay, all at once, apparently, is how that works. We should make the rest of these into that. Okay, there we go, we're good. Now we just go into, we place the bed into like a little hole in the wall, And then we explode it. It's been too long since I've done this, honestly. And there's a lot of, you know, do we need this many skeletons? Is there a reason they exist? Should I be placing torches everywhere? Maybe? But yeah, actually, you know, maybe I should be placing torches everywhere. I do have a torch box. You know, okay. So I'm gonna have to place down, okay, let's just to be a bit more effective here. I don't know the light level under which monsters spawn, but we can at least keep our relatively nearby surroundings clear, right? Just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so now, please never say you want to bed the audience again. But I wanna show you what it's like to be inside of a bed in the Nether. And I think that's something you all deserve to have. Beds are the best way of mining Netherite, and no one can tell me otherwise. I think the Wither gives it a good run for its money. It's just the Wither's so much more chaotic. That's why most people choose not to do it. But sometimes you need chaos in life. Sometimes you need exactly chaos. So I need to keep my eye on that shulker box. And now I need to show you what we're doing here. So we grab a bed, just like this. We have to, at the same time as we mine, we place it as far back as we can, and then we grab another bed, and then we activate it from the furthest back it activates, just like that. We make a big old explosion, and those explosions are, well, rather ancient debris is resistant to those explosions. So you can do that quite quickly and make these big holes in the ground. I think for making big, satisfying holes, this is definitely the way to do it. And yeah, I think going a little bit higher up would probably be better for us, as far as our odds go. So even though I am still trying... Okay, so we'll just go upwards a little bit. I am still trying to not go into brand new chunks. If there are existing chunks that can have Netherite, or can have ancient debris, I might as well go into them and place one of these. And then boom, it's very easy. We don't even have to look around these immediately. We can go through a bunch of them and then just check back later, you know, if we really want to. But yeah, we go a few blocks further down. Exact same thing. Got to make sure we pick block a new one first. And also try not to destroy existing tunnels, but if we have to, we have to. Also, yeah, the amount of fire you start. There's no easy way to get rid of fire in the Nether. You just have to manually click. Like a peasant, honestly. It's a big problem. At least they're skeletons instead of magma cubes. Man, magma cubes are the mob that make me regret being alive the most. There is no other mob that comes close, honestly. So yeah, we can get into a good rhythm of this, but for now I think, just to show the proof of concept, this is what it looks like. Isn't this fun? The answer is yes, this is fun. That's the correct answer at least. So we'll go up a few more blocks this time. A little bit further back. I think the explosions are getting quite close together, which is better for the effect of how it looks, but worse for the effect of actually, you know, doing stuff. So as you can see, we have a very nice place here. You know, it'd be tragic if we used all of our beds and didn't get a single ancient debris. Because we need, today I want to have over 20 ancient debris. 29, I think, 27 is what I need, I think. So it'd be nicer to have more than that. And yeah, we can always come through this and clean it up later. But it'd be nicer if we didn't have to. Did you not bring fire resistance? Oh, you bring fire resistance to the Nether. Look how clever you are. What a smart idea you have. Tell me more about your... Yeah, no, that would be a good idea. I like your thinking. Yeah, it'd be nice just to be able to run through fire rather than have to think like, oh no, it might burn me. Like a lame nerd. And do the same thing. Again, definitely... Is that the last brown bed? Well, that was fast. So yeah, having fire is really handy because you can burn, which again, you know, I mentioned makes you want to die. Easiest way to die is to burn to death. That's why, you know, I'm actually there's actually a sale happening right now. If you want to get yourself a house fire, you can do so with just one unsubscription from the IBX Clickcat YouTube channel. Statistically, greater than 99% of house fires happen to people who aren't subscribed. I'm just doing that to annoy people at this point. Like, no one watching this stream isn't subscribed to the channel. If you are, tell me why. I'm curious. You know, give me how did you find this? You know, maybe you want, like, it'd be weird to me if you, like, didn't know about the channel and this was one of the first videos you found. Or if you do know about the channel and you're not subscribed anyway, that's cool, I guess. It's still interesting. Still very interesting. So yeah, we're going to go empty out the Netherrack that we picked up. Probably should have deliberately picked up a bit more up here. And we're going to see what we get. Yeah, we're picking up a few other blocks, which is nice. But we're now going to make a bunch more beds. So... Oh, you can't do that. Oh, I got used to doing the Java crafty thing. So now I have to, like, what? Divide by... I can't click the crafting table. That's odd. So instead we just say... Wait, where'd all my wood go? Did I... Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, wait, look! Ancient debris in the ceiling! Wow. I can't believe there was ancient debris in front of me this whole time. Okay, so someone has to remind me it's there because I will forget. See, if I just say that, now I don't have to remember. This is that thing I was talking about with, like, you allow other people's expectations of you to shift your behavior a little bit. If people say they're okay with you being a certain way, then you'll be a certain way. If you learn that they're not, maybe you change a little bit. Wow, what an interesting parasocial dynamic we have going on here, huh, chat? Okay, now I'm going to mine, but coming back from all of this. So I will pick up some netherrack along the way, if there is any large stashes off it. Because it's bedrock, there probably won't be. And then we're going to mine this way and do the same thing, but coming back. Boom, nice big explosion. Should have got the bed out again. Easy mistake to make though. And then there's a block of that, but it's unattached to anything. So is that removing it? Nope, we gotta go one block over here. Okay, I'll get it. I'll get it eventually, chat. I'll get it. It's like that block. There we go. We did it. And then we found something new over here. So you can't find ancient debris in exposed caves, so there's no point of like looking around for it necessarily. But I am curious anyway. Yeah, it's a nice place. We'd love to destroy it.
Despite me paying toy cat tax for over 5 years, here's another donation, cause why not? XD Hamus doing these, haha.
It's been a while, man. I'm doing great, Mr. Haunted Zombie. It is crazy how long, you know, how long our parasocial relationship's been going. No, I feel like it's cool to see, you know, like sometimes on the internet things feel very temporary. Like, yeah, this is going to pass as well. This too shall pass is the phrase of the internet. Like, it's just everything eventually vanishes and goes away. It's cool to see fun reminders of that not, you know? Take away a little bit of my existential dread. And thank you for that, Haunted Zombie. Appreciate the tip as well. You know why I like tips? Is because tips are money, and money I can use to buy goods and services. If you'll believe it, chat, it is actually true. Oh, ancient debris, thank God. I was worried we'd do all this mining and it'd prove absolutely nothing. But now, it wasn't all for nothing. Okay, so we can mine it, because even though there's fire here, it's not a big deal. And then you always mine the blocks around it, because you never know what else you'll find. So I don't think I picked that up. I did. We'll put that in a prominent spot in my inventory. And now we just mine the blocks around it, because it's usually not just one. They spawn in veins of 1 to 3 and 1 to 2. And so it's possible to get 1. It's like arguably the most likely outcome. Yeah, actually, wait, no, it's 40% outcome. But it still doesn't feel right, you know? You always feel shortchanged when you get a single one. But that's okay. I can be shortchanged today. I'm subscribed, but you're muted. I'm in control of the situation, not you. I'm subscribed, but you're muted. That's all like the, yeah, the notifications. I agree with that logic. Also, remember when there weren't ads before live streams, says Bear Green? There's always been ads before live streams. It's just YouTube monetization has been ramping up recently. And so where you might have seen it only every, I don't know, other live stream, now it's every stream. And honestly, I do see why that sucks as a viewer. And I think it's annoying when YouTube does the whole double ad thing. It's like, hey, you know what the deal is? 1 ad per video. Like that's the deal, right? That's the contract that everyone signs up for. And then they're like, okay, 2 ads, but they'll be skippable. And you're like, well, it's a little bit more. And then they're like, 2 ads, and also they're not skippable. And then, you know, as a YouTuber, I'm not getting paid double as much money. If that was the case, then every YouTuber would be like, well, it sucks, but you are supporting your creator double as much. It's like a 30% increase. And that's the annoying thing of the diminishing returns of advertising, is if you double up the amount of ads that you have, you don't double your income. And so you're annoying people potentially double as much. Not to, you know, I feel like people's time is something you have to value as a person, as a business, as a human being, right? And maybe I'm not doing this whole business thing right value people's time. But I think it's something you have to value. And so it's something I try to value. Speaking of valuing your time, I'm gonna mine this ancient debris. But first, I'm gonna quickly pour myself a beverage. So I found a big container of Pepsi Max in my fridge that I think I've had since November, September. It's just been lying there and I haven't been drinking it because it's not the caffeine-free variant. And so I figured, you know what I've got to do? Like any logical person, I've worked out that the only sane thing that I should do is to actually. Do you wanna see this big? There we go. Look how huge I am. Is to pour it into a children's bathtub. Isn't that a nice noise, chat? Oh, isn't that a great noise? Oh yeah, it's going all over my desk. I gotta be a bit more gentle with the pour. But to pour it all into a toy bathtub, and make myself a little bathtub cocktail. See, look at this. Isn't this beautiful, chat? It's got some ice cubes in there. And now, what I can do, I can grab some straws. You know, I'll grab a red and a yellow. And look at this. Wow. Look at me, ready to drink from my bathtub. Mmm, tasty, isn't it good? Feed it to the toilet as it's going there anyway. Oh, I should get a giant toilet to drink out of. That's a good idea. Thank you for the business suggestion, Cat. Heck yeah, the bathtub I helped fund, says Dazed and Confused. Oh no, the straws have fallen in. They're like, they didn't prop up against the side. Guess I'm gonna have to fish them out. Okay, we're good. There is a lot of gunk on my desk that I'm gonna fix right now. Okay, there we go. We're good. Everything's great. And now that's gonna stay over here, I guess. It's a shame you can't see it. I should get like a cam where you can see my desk better. Is it gin? Is it vodka? It's Pepsi Max, dudes. You saw the container. It's got that's some footballer on there. He was probably more relevant at the time. Yeah, this is it's a little bit old, but it's fine. I had it like half empty, sitting in my fridge. I think it'd make the perfect. See, I've lost one of my straws now, so I'm gonna have to grab another straw to throw in there. I heard plastic straws were being banned, so I bought a bunch more as my way to avoid it. But get a metal straw, so much better. I totally agree, honestly. Metal straws are the solution the world needs. Okay, I have to two-hand my drink, and every time I put a straw in, it falls in. Kind of stays there. Honestly, this as a drinking container, this is like too unwieldy. Like a two-handed, I guess I could just drink straight out of it. Yeah, that's definitely the way it's designed to be drunk. You gotta drink right out of the bow. What does it say about society that we all assumed it was alcoholic? Oh no, what does it say about you? Everyone else was like, yeah, of course, that's just a nice looking beverage. You're out there like, wow. Can't believe you're drinking some gin in there. I bet gin would go well with Pepsi Max. I couldn't believe it would go terribly. Anyway, so yeah, we'll mine 1. And we'll mine 2. I think that's just a vein of 3. I thought it was 2 separate veins, but it was just 2 blocks separated by 1. It's still 2 ancient debris. Like, I'll take it. I was just kind of hoping for more, you know? Yeah, let's hope it's... Okay, it's definitely just 1. What if you trip while drinking a metal straw and it goes straight through the throat into the brainstem? That's genuinely an argument I've seen against metal straws. People being like, yeah, I won't drink from them because what if you trip and... It's like, man, do you know the number of things you do on a daily basis that are more dangerous and more risk potential than what you're just describing? I don't know if you do, because otherwise you wouldn't say it, I feel like. So we'll just throw that in the corner and that in that corner. And we'll make more beds, honestly. I need a lot of beds. I don't wanna just keep coming back here. Okay, bunch of beds. I think I might use a bed to kill this skeleton, actually. I think that would be enjoyable. Real quick, need to sneeze. Oh yeah, I like sneezing a lot. I've been the tiniest bit sick, so it's like when sneezes feel good again, that's when you know you're better. Drinking for a straw automatically makes the drink taste so much better, and drinking out of a tub defo deserves another tip. Thank you, Haunting Zombie. I'm glad you like my bathtub. Okay, let's do this. You gotta walk over here, Mr. Zombie. Oh wait, sorry, I guess skeleton. I'm just talking to a zombie. Okay, so as soon as the skeleton gets there, I blow him up. It worked. My genius strategy is, you know, I'm just saying, absolutely great. And there we go. Easy. And now we're at a better layer to mine at, I think, anyway. And we'll start destroying from here. So we'll actually mine back where that is. Oh, is that ancient debris? No, that's nether quartz. Which means I don't care, which means explosion time. Let's go. And yeah, to get the most explosions per second, we'll just kind of like... Oh, we've already been there. Honestly, destroying these walls isn't the most inefficient thing in the world. It's just not the most efficient thing in the world. And also, yeah, don't want to be in fire that much. Not good for me. I just feel like I just assumed I'd see more ancient debris by now. I guess we're in this for the long haul, huh, chat? Also, that was entirely my fault. You know, I can blame Minecraft on a lot of things. I think stepping into that fire just then, probably not one of them. Yeah, definitely. I realized that the blast protection chestplate sounds like a good idea, but in reality, to avoid damage doing this, you'll be much better off with just a fire resistance potion. Speaking of, fire in the hole. What do we got today? Got a lovely stream of lava. Having to neutralize those lava streams every time definitely does get old. But what doesn't get old is, you know, there's a dark joke about, like, people who die when they're young here that I won't be making. I guess dead children is the easy joke. But instead I'll be making a joke about, you know what doesn't get old? The concept of no, you know what? Can't do it. I tried to make this an okay joke. Only works as a bad joke. See, this is the problem with the world. 4 ancient debris, you would have had a lot more just mining straight. Yeah, and 3 of those don't really even count either, so I'm just saying. Just gonna, there we go. Did I find some ancient debris? I don't believe I did. Making a bunch of fires, which is nice. But yeah, it's not the most effective way. I think if you get like a real rhythm going on, it can be. Like, I think what you actually want to do, because what I'm doing is I'm kind of like stopping each time. You want to get like a rhythm, like I say, like you want to go do 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 do, which makes absolutely no sense, and that's not words that I'm even saying at that point. But you want to do what I just said, but in an actual making sense way. So actually, let's show you right now. So we got a big tunnel over here. There's a tunnel above it. What we'll do is we'll mine at like, we'll make a big tunnel at layer 11. Like, it's not the worst layer. You know, it's the layer you find diamonds at, so it must work for ancient debris, right? Just follow my logic and don't question it. Okay, and now every few blocks on this side, we place one of these, right? Over there. And then every few blocks on this side, we place another one. And we'll just make a bunch of explosions. Like, too many explosions, all at once. Okay, so place a bed. And then by having a faster... It's like everything in life, here's the secret to most forms of productivity. Hear me out, so cat, find Desert Well Armor Trim. Find Desert Well Armor Trim. Use it for trim Netherite fish armor for big salmon. Show appreciation for big salmon. You know what? I totally agree with that. I'm on board. I don't know what that even means, but I'm on board. Appreciating big salmon is something I take very seriously. Thank you. I thank Big Salmon for his service every single day. So yeah, we'll just place another one of these here. We're kind of ruining an existing path, but it's fine. If it didn't want to be ruined, it wouldn't be there. Is my very bad logic. I guess we've set up 6 of them now. Basically, everything in life gets better when you do it as a batch. That's my life pro tip for you. We make a big explosion there. And we make a big explosion over there. We get lit on fire a little bit, but it's fine. I kind of over-anticipated the size of these holes that I'd be making, but you get the point. Same thing there, and then same thing there. Oh, yeah. Here are a lot of skeletons on fire. And then we run back, and we got some more explosions we've got to be a part of. So there, nice. And over there, also nice. Yeah, fire resistance definitely more important than blast protection. I remember being like, I hate the damage you take from this. But I remember it being the explosion that hurt, not the fire afterwards. So, you know, I'm learning a valuable lesson today. You'll be glad to know. And so I've only got 2 more beds. And so let's just place these in between the big blast sites. So, right in the wall here. Just, actually, we have to go a block deeper. So we can, like, stand around like this. Blocks between us and the bed. There we go. Fire is definitely monstrous. But it's okay. You seen any ancient debris yet, chat? So, Kat, I'm going to Dublin soon from America, and all I know is that their population is doubling every year. Is that everything I need to know? Yeah, people from Dublin love it when you make that joke to them. It is their favorite joke to hear, and they will clap you and buy you a drink if you tell it to them. That is true. That is just a fact. And also, what Irish people love, like more than anything else, is when you go there as an American and say, I'm Irish, and explain what you actually mean is that your great-grandfather moved to, the United States from Ireland, and that basically means you understand their struggles, and, when you get involved in their silly little class wars and pretend to hate the British and stuff, or pretend to hate whichever group of people, they absolutely love it. It's their favorite thing. Again, they will buy you a drink multiple times over. Honestly, yeah, they're... really, really great people. Especially love it when you reference their over-drinking culture and how much you think that you should continuously go on about how much better it is than life in America. That's what you want to do. That's how you make friends in Ireland. Trust me, I wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't true. I never say things that aren't true. That's just a fact. Okay, so we didn't find any ancient debris from all of that. I think I'm gonna go clean up the trims here. Make a bigger tunnel through this. But I think we got nothing from that. Well, don't know what we proved there then. I guess the proof is that you don't come to the Nether with beds unless you wanna be lit on fire a bunch. If you like being lit on fire, Nether is a great place for that, it seems. So I'm gonna make a lovely little staircase here actually. Just because, like, worst case I find some blocks. Best case it makes something beautiful. And that way we can connect this to the outside world. And then we can go through these big old holes. Everyone loves going through big holes. It's a fact. Okay, perfect. More like glass you would be empty. I don't just pretend I hate everyone. Dublin and Dublin, lol, says Mark. No, Dublin's it's a really cool city. It's, like, honestly, my controversial advice, that it's controversial to everyone, like, it upsets everyone involved. But if you're in the UK, and you like big cities, you've been to London, just skip the rest of the UK, go straight to Dublin. Like, Manchester's kind of interesting. You can get some history or some alcoholism from Edinburgh or Glasgow, maybe. I hear that Cardiff is a city that exists even. I haven't confirmed that, but it's a thing. But I think right after London, straight to Dublin. Pretend the rest of the UK does. Pretend the rest of the UK doesn't exist and just go straight to Dublin. But then while you're in Dublin, pretend that you don't know that it's not a part of the UK, and then just continuously act like. So you're not. But like, isn't Ireland one of the 4 countries in the UK? And they'll be like, Northern Ireland. So like, the north of Ireland is, and they're like, no. You just do that to people a bunch. It's really endearing when people don't understand it. There's definitely no conflicts that have ever happened, so you don't have to worry about offending people or anything. Okay, let's, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back up here. Okay, so again, we have to make some nice staircases up again. And I'm just gonna go straight back down to branch mining. I think it clearly works better. The proof is in the pudding, as you would say if you were a chef and there was proof found inside your pudding. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have a better time mining. I always do. Like, wither mining is the fun way, bed mining is the interesting way. And the way where we're gonna get stuff done is we just go mining in a big old straight line. So we mine in a straight line, and then when we hit the end, we go 3 blocks and we turn back. Mine in a straight line, and then turn around. Always hide the evidence in the pudding. Yeah, that's, I've always felt like that's the, when people say the proof's in the pudding, it's like, why are you putting it in there? If you got something so valuable to share with the world. The last place it should be going is in the dessert you're gonna serve people, But, with that said, let's turn around 3 blocks later, and let's do the same thing. I think 3 blocks actually isn't enough, but it's fine. Which can tear up a bunch of basically existing terrain at a lair where we're gonna find Netherite eventually. I think 14's the right lair to mine. If it's not, I'm probably close enough. And if I'm not close enough, then You can theoretically find it anywhere, so it doesn't even matter if I'm close enough. I'll eventually find ancient debris. And that'll be great. Please, ancient debris, come to Mr. Cat. Yeah, I would like it if that happened. I would like it a lot. So now we'll mine this set of blocks, I guess. Except this doesn't make any sense. We'll go through there. And we're going to mine a set of blocks here. So I think this is the tunnel I just made, which is great. Exactly what I need to see. I'm just going to mine here at layer 13 until we find something from this. And then continuously do the same thing in big old rows. I want to really open up as few new chunks as I humanly can get away with. And so my big strategy is to do this. The big tunnels of beds and explosions definitely make this harder, but not too much so. So mine straight this way now. That's a lot of soul sand, but it's fine. Honestly, we could probably mine a tunnel be 2 by 2 wide. It's not that much less efficient than 1 by 1 wide. And there we go. Look at that. Found ancient debris that I definitely would have found either way. But now I can claim that it was my new technique that did it. Oh, and just one of them too. Oh, painful. Again, it's a 40% chance you get a vein of 1. But that doesn't make me feel any better about them, you know? And so yeah, we just keep on mining until we're great. Here's some money. Hope you spend it or don't. Thank you, 56 McFly. I have a lot of fun things I intend to spend money on soon. And hopefully you'll know what they are. Or maybe you won't. But, reverse mugging, if only I could afford to do it, says Dream Key. You know, this is a reverse mugging. But yeah, that's a thing I would just absolutely love to do to people. Just, you know, put your hands in your pockets. I do have a weapon, and I will use it. Okay, now take out your wallet. There you go. Don't be telling anyone about this. I will know. I will find out. And I will punish you. Okay, I have to take a little drink real quick. Pepsi Max tastes so much better from a bathtub. They don't tell you that on the bottle. But I'm telling you, you haven't lived till you've tried. Okay, I've got Pepsi hands clearly. You haven't lived till you've tried it from the bathtub direct. Honestly, fizzy beverages and bathtubs, good combination as it turns out. Okay, so let's keep on mining. I want to talk about something, chat, because every stream that I do, there's some number of people that show up like before it's there, and they're like, "Oh, come on, Toy Cat, when are you gonna start?" And you know, it's probably worse for me than other streamers, because yeah, like I don't know if you know, but I do sometimes, you know, it's crazy, I know, but I do sometimes start the stream a little later than maybe originally planned. Obviously, what it actually is like, well, it starts exactly when intended, and you know, you can just be early or late. But no, because of the way I do. Also, how about I make these tunnels way taller? If I do that, then I can, without uncovering new chunks, I can find ancient debris. And because I'm way below it anyway, that should actually work out in my favor. Yeah, it sounds good. You know, worst case, we're just mining a bunch of Netherite that we need eventually anyway, so I'm not even that horrified about the idea. I probably should have brought more shulker boxes, but otherwise it's fine. Also, yeah, this is why I need more shulker boxes, because it just piles in here. So yeah, an efficient way to mine, because you want to be exposing as many new blocks as possible, is to do what I'm doing right here, and to make things higher. But it does make nicer looking tunnels, so you gotta really balance these two things out if you want to do this. And then we're in here. Intriguing. Yeah, so just we're in the right layer roughly. We'll eventually find ourselves some blocks. And look at this, just picking them all up. Apparently didn't do that before. Ready to drop them into my shulker box. Definitely have to just like make a stack for these weird blocks I'm picking up. And just get right back to it. Okay, so now we go to the right some, or the left, I guess. And we do the same thing, make a 2 by 3 tunnel. Not because it's more efficient, just because, like, it looks nicer. There's something more satisfying. You know, this is the thing about Minecraft. At a certain point, you can make efficiency trade-offs in exchange for aesthetics. And I'm usually not the biggest fan of doing that. But, like, after being surrounded by too many people on YouTube who say, like, everything must be the most efficient all the time, I'm like, actually, I've changed my mind. I am now in favor of exclusively... Okay, I got that perfect. I am now in favor of doing things in the weirdest way possible so that they're not efficient. Like, I live my life a bit too contrarian. But yeah, so stream timers, the stream time's a really weird thing, because YouTube lets you pick a stream start time, and then 30 minutes before it goes live, it notifies people about the stream. And so, yeah, there's like, nowadays there's actually like an incentive to like, the more times you can have your stream hit that 30 minutes to go mark, the more people will be notified. Because it doesn't notify everyone, it notifies everyone it thinks might be interested. And so every time you hit, you know, every time YouTube gets notifications, it does that. But the other thing is, like, it's very clear to anyone who knows the streams, like, yeah, the exact start time is like when the stream starts to start going. Like, you know, there's all sorts of weird preparations, and starting to stream at the exact time you want to start streaming just doesn't work in my experience. If it's ever worked for you or anyone you know, that's wonderful. Hasn't worked for me in my experience. So, also, we're picking up a lot of nether quartz here. Might be handy for future me. It's like 1 hour after. Says CC5. So sometimes that does happen. Like there's like a huge delay, and it's like, yeah, if I'm not physically home, I can't stream. I'm sorry. But usually the delay used to be 20 minutes after the time. It'll be roughly ready. Sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 25. But the new YouTube only lets me delay in increments if increments of 15 minutes. And so it's like I have to decide a full 15 minutes of delay or not to delay at all. And it causes like all sorts of hassle where it's like, I'm gonna be 1 minute late. Do I have to like, is there use in like putting that out there, or is there not? I don't even. Also, what is that? I found a phantom stack again, chat. Does the stack exist? It does exist. Okay, I've got to just move the stack around my inventory. Okay, I forgot. The way you do this is you like, we'll drop it maybe. Okay, that doesn't work. We'll pick some up. Now we'll combine the two stacks. Ah, no. Okay, phantom stack is ruining my inventory, but it's fine. I just... It's so weird. Look at that. I can't even take this out because it breaks it. Stream app isn't working for me. Hope this can buy you... This can buy you a large Domino's pizza in Australia. Enjoy, man. There's no way $5 Australian can buy you a whole pizza. I mean, especially like, you know, YouTube takes 30%. So Susan can buy 30% of a whole pizza in Australia. There's no way you get a whole pizza for $5 in Australia. I have seen that promotion before. Like, I think my Australian friend even mentioned it to me once. And I was like, that is odd. That is incredibly odd. But yeah, I do have to say, it is very strange to me. It's very strange to me that they cost £20 here, but $5 there. That doesn't like logically add up. It's like, why don't they make them that cheap here? Like, surely people don't actually pay $5. Surely, like, it's like, oh well, $5 is the cheapest one, but most people want this from their pizza. Like, what is the catch, chat? What is the catch? I need to know. Well, let's just start sprinting in a straight line. It works, technically speaking. And then we'll mine a few blocks this way. And then we'll do the same, running backwards. Eventually we'll hit ancient debris. It's just gonna happen. I think, again, the sprint speed is gonna work out in our favor. It's gonna be much nicer. You can get a slice of pizza for $5 here. Pizza by the slice is such a weak game in the UK. Hey! That's fine. That's fine, don't worry. I like the lava noise. Okay, let's, okay, oh god, that might have killed me. Okay, so I need to stack up, and I need to be very careful about what I do next. Oh, I actually got it, never mind, okay. So, yeah, definitely fire resistant potions would be great. I make pizza at home for double the cost of my own ingredients. Yeah, I love making my own pizza. But I came to a conclusion recently that, like, this takes me so much time. Also, the gravel stack now does move. The phantom stack is fixed. You'll be pleased to know, chat. Also, yeah, we fill up shulker boxes very quickly while doing this. But yeah, as I was saying, sorry. I think that pizza is like I know like there's this thing you have to value in cooking, which is your time. Like there's so many recipes that are like what you'll need are 45 minutes, and you're like I can spare 45 minutes, but it means 45 minutes if you do everything perfectly. And so you spend a full hour cooking, and that's not actually an hour cooking. That's an hour cooking if you have the ingredients. You gotta go to the store and you've gotta buy things that you've never heard of. It's like you gotta buy this ingredient, and then you look, and then you go there and you can't find it. And then you look it up and you're like, oh, turns out they used a word that they don't use anywhere outside of America for this thing. Ooh, what a silly thing. So you've gotta have some knowledge. You've gotta spend time buying ingredients. Then you've gotta spend a bunch of time cooking. And then also, there's like cleanup time and stuff. Like cooking is so time intensive. Like anything else, like imagine how insane you'd be if you said to people like, oh yeah, I grow my own fruit. Oh, you buy your fruit from the supermarket? I mean, I guess everyone's allowed to do what they want to do, right? Pizza by the box is the best. I don't agree with that because sometimes, like, what I like about pizza by the slice is it makes like a lunch. If I get a pizza box, that's 3 meals or 2 meals. That's like that's a concerning 1 meal. Okay, you caught me. But you know, it's like you're committing to eating so much food, so much more pizza than you want. Because it's never efficient to order small pizza for delivery. That's not what people. Yeah, they laugh at you when you go, "I'll have a small pepperoni, please." They go, "Ha ha ha ha, ha. Is this a small woman ordering?" That's what it sounds like it is, sir. It's like actually this is for. It's like ha 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 ha. I think you said you wanted 2 large pizzas. That's what I heard. I've been writing down. It's only $2 more than the small. Of course you wanted large. And I was like, okay, I guess you're probably right. I mean, why would I get the small? If the large is only $2 more, I guess I've got to do it. You're right. Okay, thank you, Domino's man, for setting me straight. I didn't realize how wrong I was until just this second. Also, yeah, I'm having terrible odds with ancient debris. Am I just at the wrong layer massively? Have they changed that maybe? Canada uses the American word, says Ada McDonald. See, but even then, it's like, you know, I don't know if that's true for everything. Like, I feel like you definitely call it an aubergine in Canada, right? You don't call it an eggplant. Anyway, so it's confusing. You gotta like cooking words are one of, oh man, there's just a whole onslaught happening here. Cooking words are one of those things where you genuinely just have to accept that for, like, I don't know, like in day-to-day English, we call it a pavement in the UK. America calls it a sidewalk, right? There's a fun quirky difference for you. Oh, we got some beds. You know, if they're here anyway. Actually, let's also make a let's make another brown bed. Then let's use these 2 beds that are here anyway. And let's make some explosions. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, where do I make the explosions? I've got a big row of them over here, I think. Yes, I do. Let's keep adding to the row of explosions. Is this an explosion zone? It isn't yet, but it can be. Oh, I can see why it won't be. I think I want to explode this slime, so I think I'm going to do that. As reckless an idea as that is, I think sometimes you just got to do bad things. Okay, that's why it was so red. Also, that didn't solve my problems at all. That just multiplied them into lots of smaller problems. And no ancient debris. Yeah, I forgot just how challenging ancient debris was by itself. Like, getting Netherite is air quotes easy, but it's still like hours of investment to get a full set of gear. And so it's going to be interesting when they add a new component to that. It's going to be very interesting. So yeah, we're just going to keep on running past this. We'll mine a bunch of blocks on the side here so we can get by. And then we'll follow this a bit more. And then we'll make some more explosions. Whee! Okay. Black bed. Place down. Get around the corner a bit. And we're good. And then we'll do the same every so often. Block. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So it should be just above me, presumably. British English is the weird version because America has a bigger population. You know, I don't even necessarily agree with that. then I don't even necessarily disagree with that, I should say. But no. No, that's the funny thing, right? Is like everyone just knows the system they're used to. Like if you use that logic, then Fahrenheit is the weird system because the rest of the world, 7-something billion people, use you know, Celsius and metric, right? Like using I know it's the old British system you guys use, but that is technically correct. Also, is this my last bed? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're gonna mine a bunch of these. Oh, there we go, ancient debris. Okay. When you go too long without it, it gets so demotivating. You need to have little wins here and there. Just something to celebrate, right? Something to celebrate. But Imperial and Fahrenheit is the weird system. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, it is, right? It factually actually is. It is just the weird system. That's how things go. Also, I should probably mine the blocks around it, just in case. Always got to remember to do that. Mine up a bit. They're always in the ceiling, so let's just mine higher up. That's what I'm taking from this. Is it 1 again? I feel like I deserve more than 1. Chat, do I deserve more than 1? Can we have a poll on this? Okay, I'm not gonna go through that. I'm gonna make another little entrance through here. I'm gonna go through that instead. There's the lava. Here's my next explosion. This one wasn't as big as before. Yeah, I guess because it hit too much blackstone. So not as many blocks uncovered. Not super successful. What's over here, though? We got some more. Any ancient debris? I don't see any. Nice rhyme there. Temperature is the only thing Imperial gets right. When you walk outside, it's hot, and you say, "Wow, this is 100 hots." I think the only way that makes sense is if you use like percentage as your logic. But even then, that doesn't feel right because you can go over 100% hot, and like, what is -% hot? I think the only reason Celsius is any amount better is because it has 2 logical things tied into it. You know, freezing and boiling point of water. And it's like that's not much better as a system, but it's something. Like I think I don't know, like you can have, you know, like the precision of a scale and the learning points about what's on there are kind of valuable. Like before we had base 10, like if you think about the feet system, like feet, there's 12 inches in a feet, and then 5,280 feet in a mile, right? It's like how does anyone, what logic is that? And it's like, yeah, like before switching to base 10 makes more sense because everyone can count 10. You got 10 fingers, 10 thumbs. Trust me, that's true. Kelvin is a nerd. Well, Kelvin's just taking Celsius but removing the Kelvin takes Celsius but removes the 0 and 100 being boiling and freezing. So it is theoretically a really good system because like it helps you understand absolute zero a lot better, and so it's good for scientists who like are approaching it. Like it's good for when you're working in the cold and approaching absolute zero because you don't have to remember minus 237.7 degrees or whatever. You can just remember that, you know, you don't have to remember as many things. There's always a win, right? But yeah, I think people deal with freezing and boiling of water more than they deal with absolute zero. You know, who's dealing with absolute zero? That's my question. Do you know who it is? The king's. It's the Kingsford. What king? I don't want to know. No, they had to regularly measure the king. It's a real thing they actually had to do. Sounds fake. Is not fake. Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna start another one of these long mines. See, I've already done 2 of them, so logically I can just do a 3rd. We just go mining crazy fast. Eventually, we'll find ancient debris. We might have to start doubling back on some of these tunnels just to be sure. There might be a lot of ancient debris unmined otherwise, but probably not. Probably not. Okay. What have we found down here? Okay. I see lots of things. Fahrenheit is how hot a person is. Celsius is how hot water is. Kelvin's how hot an atom is. But, like, we don't want free system. Oh, also, perfect. You know, I'm not going Kelvin's really useful if you live on the planet Jupiter, says Hexataran. Exactly, I agree with that. If you're on Jupiter and you're unsure of how freezing it is today, Kelvin scale, very, very good way to introduce you to that. There we go. I knew there'd be more. I knew we couldn't have that many veins at one. So we officially have after the last 55 minutes, we got 2 Netherite ingots if we get the gold, which we obviously have, but like, you know, still kind of crazy, right? So is this the tunnel I was mining? I guess this is the tunnel I was mining. Let's continue to mine it. Yeah, this is definitely my preferred method. I don't like loading up chunks. Okay. Don't like loading up chunks still. It looks like just mining in the Nether is an activity that creates lava. There's no way around it. Absolutely nothing you can do. You are going to see lava more than you see anything else. And that's probably okay, I guess. We'll mine the ceiling a little bit, just in case there's some in there. And I'll mine along this before coming back on ourselves. Because this is great, but we've reached a logical endpoint. Yeah, so British feet, pounds, gallons, America, okay. Brendan, haha, we don't use that now. Why are you so dumb? Funnily enough, a lot of American English pronunciations come from like the way honor is spelt in America. Honor without the U. Like, it's funny because that seems so like backwards and ridiculous and like, oh, Americans are stupid. But speaking of stupid, the Divining, thank you so much. Here's an idea. Build a massive platform at world height and part of your world can be permanently night. I've actually had that idea before. I should do that with my Nether really though. That's a really good idea, to make the Nether dark rather than having a ceiling. Because you know what, maybe I should just have a ceiling actually. I definitely want to make an area dark though. What block should we use, chat? What block should we use to make perma-dark? Like stone? Stone slabs? No, it's gonna be a full block or light goes through weirdly. So let's mine these blocks over here. Probably the least effective blocks to mine, but it just makes an interesting looking something or other. I have to go find my shulker box or it's gonna be lost in the tunnel forever. Yeah, I definitely haven't picked it up yet. So let's go find that. There it is. Perfect. Okay, put them in. Don't know how I got only 3 stacks after all that time. Just gonna have to choose not to question that one. And yeah, let's I got something important. Okay, so speaking of something important, I love making dark areas. You know what, why don't we uncover the deep dark just to then put blocks above it so it gets dark again? That's a genius idea. Honor, color, flavor, then theater. So yeah, the way that Americans spell honor is with just an O. They don't use the U. But here's the intriguing thing, and a lot of British people go, well, that's stupid, right? Like, why don't they? Like, it's so intuitive to the way British spelling works that, like, yeah, that sort of a sound uses a U. And so it's assumed that Americans just removed it because they're lazy. But back in the, you know, the 1700s, that is how honor was spelt. There's a few examples of it where, like, places are named honor, but they're named, like, there's Honor Park in London. And it's named Honor Park because it existed before America went off and became independent, or at least not long afterwards. And it's cool to me that like a lot of things that are distinctly American are just British things that we stopped doing, and then we started thinking America was dumb for doing, even though it's like our system. So there's always something funny about that to me. Always something funny about that. So yeah, every one of these blocks we destroy, we're uncovering. Oh, that was perfect. Every one of these blocks we destroy, we're uncovering 3 faces off Netherrack versus we previously destroyed 2 to see 6. So it's actually pretty neutral. Yeah, we could just do this all day. Just destroy a block, then destroy another block. Until we have an abnormally tall tunnel. Yeah, it's a good idea. We're not really altering that much, and we might just find an ancient debris, right? And we can still do it while sprinting. Perfect. Yeah, I have a seriously concerningly long system of tunnels. I do have to say. It goes on for longer than you'd expect. Okay, so this is the stretch we're going to make bizarrely tall. So now we mine the next block up. Can we do 2 at a time? Nope, just 1 at a time. Mine the block. Slow down a little bit with the blackstone and then keep going back on it. The pickaxe will probably die, but that's fine. I've got a whole Netherite thing to use anyway. I didn't realize how hard it was to find ancient debris in the quantities that I need it. Like, every time I do this, I'm like, oh yeah, it won't be that hard. And then like an hour passes and it's like, I have 2 Netherite ingots. They're so rare. Like, people who say they need to be made rarer. You know, there is something a little bit missing there. The mining is definitely hard enough already, don't worry. Okay, so that's a concern. That's a big concern. So let's stack up and let's fix it, I guess. Did I fix it? I must have, because it's fallen down. Things are always scarier when easier when you aren't trying. That is factually true. Yeah, I loving coming home from work, turning on the Toy Cat stream. Good to see you, Darren Hughes. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday evening. I know I am. Yeah, I want to talk about, I want to talk a little bit about, also, I'm sorry about that little patch there. It vanishes when I point at it. Okay, is it better now? I think it's better now. You know, we can live with it, I guess. Of all the problems I have in this, in my recording setup, it is very low down. I'm going back to the US soon, chat. Tomorrow will be my last stream in the UK. I've got a really weird, like, life situation to sort out over there. It's one of those things where I've got to like work out like, you know, like a lot of like online influency people say the thing of like, oh yeah, I don't share personal on the internet. And I respect when people have that opinion, but I do also like, I think there's like a value to like, you know, like, I think one of the cool things about other people making mistakes is you get to learn from them. I think you can also see from other people's successes, like, what to do. Like, if no one around you earns a lot of money, you'll assume the only people who earn lots of money are bankers and, you know, like, tech CEOs or something. Like, if no one around you owns a house, you'll assume that, like, that's a weird thing. That's not the normal thing. Like, you know, you define your normal by what is around you almost. And so, like, having a YouTuber is a fine alternative. Also, thank you, Mikey Macca. Wait, Mikey Macca? Mikey Macca it is. Thank you very much. Is that how you say it? That can't be. Yet you're still not using fire resistance. I mean, over a long mining session, how many fire resistance potions would I have to chuck? Like, I've already got the totem. What more can you ask for, you know? Okay, so we're just making this abnormally tall build right here. I just think it'll look kind of satisfying when we go all the way down. There's no other real reason for it. I was hoping we'd find ancient debris too, but... yeah, mining the ceiling... bad idea as it turns out. Very bad idea. So we're gonna stop with that, actually. Yeah, okay, I think there's a lava pit above this. I think that's what's happening. Don't want to deal with this too much. The real question, why do people think being the same as other people is better? So I don't think, okay, so actually there's an interesting question. I don't think it's that we think being the same as other people is better. I think we have this desire to fit in. Like, a lot of things that you think are nice and you can buy with money aren't inherently nice. They're nice because other people want them as well. And you know that it would be cool to have people respect you and blah, blah, blah. Like, what you're buying with a Rolex isn't a really cool watch that does interesting things and keeps the time so well. You're buying like, wow, you got one of those? I've always wanted one of those. Like, something I've noticed, something you'll notice if you live in the UK at least, I'm sure there's an equivalent in other countries, is certain migrant communities love specific brands of cars. Like, South Asians love like German cars like BMWs, Mercedes. You know, they'll drive like a 15, 20-year-old car so they can drive a BMW, because that's the way it's done, you know. Also, thank you, Katina. And the reason of that is because they'll have an uncle or they'll have a friend that also You know, like this is the problem with having such distinct communities, is we'll have different sets of values we're following and going for. Is like one of their friends is like, yeah, man, I got this car, and you know, it's so cool. It does this. It's like a status symbol. Like people around you know that was a purchase that was hard, and they go, wow, you're cool for having made it. But like even just like outside of purchases, because everyone knows about the the whole point of marketing is to convince us that people who are cool have things, so we think, wow, I would be kind of like them. But I think this like desire to fit in is like relatively normal. Like the most of the human experience, if you didn't fit in with your local group, you would die. The reason not having friends is depressing, you know, like literally it will make you depressed, is because yeah, you might die if you don't have people to help you. Even in life, so many things are harder if you don't have friends. Like you need to move house. Either you pay someone thousands of pounds. Good luck. I don't know if you have a few £1,000 spare when you're going through the expense of moving, but usually that's not the case. Also, yeah, let's go dump down my shulker boxes. Man, this is a very confusing network of tunnels. I can see why I try to make some order through the chaos, but it also just doesn't make any sense. Like, moving is so hard without friends. Or, I know what's another example. Like, finding a job can be so much easier if you know someone in the right industry. That's why networking's a thing. Like, even when you're making friends almost for the sake of industry, just knowing someone and knowing they're like a genuine human being. The whole reason this whole thing works. Also, how do I rotate text in MS Paint? I think you make the box and then you go to the top right corner. There should be a little rotatey tool. I don't know if MS Paint has that though. Thank you very much, UV Arrow. I'll be your tech support in exchange for your £5 any day of the week. Also, please be more of it. Yes, there's more. Is there just 2? I mean, I guess I'll take 2. Yeah, I'll take 2. 10 ancient debris. It's not nothing. It is not nothing. Factually accurate. So we'll just keep on mining this way until we hit one of the big tunnels. What if we never hit one of the big tunnels? What if this just goes nowhere? It's a good question I should be considering. I think my pickaxe is gonna die. Chat, should we let the pickaxe die? We won't let the pickaxe die. You know, it's all good. We can let the pickaxe live another day. So we'll use the slightly faster pickaxe. There is precisely no value to using this here. We're just kind of wasting a good tool, honestly. But hopefully we can find our way back out of this. Oh yeah, we've gone so far. We've gone so ridiculously far. We're gonna keep going further because that's what we're doing. But yeah, like, so you need to have, like, in the modern world, even with all of these conveniences that can be automated away, having a friend to tell you, like, oh yeah, what you're doing right now, that's not a job, that's a cult, or that's an MLM, or, you know, like, whatever else. Having someone to, like, tell you that has so much value. The number of people who have, like, you know, like, just having someone to tell you, like, oh yeah, watch out for this, this is a good thing, you know, etc., 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 really, really valuable. Like, there needs to be friends you trust. That's why you can't get this from strangers. Like, the strangers as a whole, you can vaguely trust, right? But individual strangers, we have struggles with. That's the reason Google reviews work. Like, yeah, I guess if you take every stranger combined, I trust their shared collective opinion about, you know, this restaurant. But I'm just gonna take one stranger's word for it. Like, people are wrong about all sorts of things, restaurants included, I bet. And so, yeah, it's imagine trusting someone, says Trey. Trusting someone's one of the hardest things to do too. Like, you have to say, like, yeah, I think that you make judgments on a level that is equivalent to or better than what I make. And like, you're so aware of what's happening in your decision-making process, and like, you know, like what things you're taking chance for and advising on. And other people you just see, like, you know, like, if you're the sort of person, like, to use the car example, right? If you're the sort of person who, like, researches everything to make sure you get it best, and one of your friend goes, nah, you want a BMW pre-zero, or, you know, in certain, you know, like, certain communities of color in the UK love, Range Rovers. Just, it's a thing. I didn't know it was a thing, and then when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that is, but, So like they're like, nah, you want a Range Rover? Evoque. And you're like, what is a Range Rover Evoque? They're like, it's the one you want. It is the best. It's got horses under the bonnet. It's got everything you need in a car. And then you'd be like, wow, this person's really convinced they know their stuff. And then you learn they don't think it's good because it's a good car. They think it's good because they've just been told by someone who said, yeah, it's got lots of horses under the bonnet and everything. And then you're like, oh, I wasn't... You know, like, that's one of my, like, least favorite things is when I trust someone and then it turns out they didn't know the thing. They just kind of like, oh, yeah, I heard from someone in my life that was a good idea. I like, the very first time, to tell a personal story, when I first, the first time I needed a lawyer, in the UK you need one to sell a house. Like, legally speaking, you can't do it yourself. It's theoretically possible, but not actually. If you don't know, Audi drivers, says Cat Beanie. I feel like, see, right, there's a whole category of people who do these things. The fact that we can, like, categorize people who drive by a whole brand and be like, they're that type of car driver, and it actually has some accuracy to it is crazy to me. Also, I'm gonna go back home and I'm gonna throw my ancient debris in a furnace maybe. No, actually I want to keep it. It's my trophy of how well I'm doing today. I'm gonna go back home and get a couple pickaxes, and then also make maybe like 3 or 4 shulker boxes. Might be a good idea. I think I want to make a better route into here than this weird janky staircase I currently use. That's a lot of bedrock, lol. It's a lot of bedrock indeed. But that is the edition that I'm playing. Okay, so let's find out also right now which chunks did because the Nether update is when all this stuff came out, right? So wherever this new biome is, wherever the Soul Sand Valley is, there is a chance of finding ancient debris. And wherever there's no... Okay, so about minus 550 is about as far as the biome goes. Also, does this lead anywhere, or does this lead to a dead end? Interesting. It leads... I've mined something, but not very much. We'll have to keep that in mind. So let's equip the Elytra. Let's go on a flight. And let's bring a fire resistance potion as well. Clearly that's a thing that you can do better with. But yeah, like, there's so many, I don't know, like, there's so many things in life that you need someone you can trust. Because you need to know, like, oh yeah, they make good decisions. What do they think about this? And so having someone like that is very important. But also it's very hard to do. And so, but like, if you find someone who you can trust to like know stuff like that, it's like, oh yeah, they say this is good. It's subconsciously, like not on a conscious level, just it sinks into your brain that like, oh, I guess that's a good idea. When all of your friends start doing something, you assume that is the thing that needs to be done. There's like a follow the leader effect, just because like, yeah, if people are doing it, it must be a good idea, right? People don't just start doing things for no reason. That would be insane. Except of course, all the time people start doing things for no reason. That's what we do. That is our like our base level behavior almost. Is like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll do what the guy ahead of me is doing. You know, it's crazy to say, but it's also I shouldn't put that in there. I'm trying to put it in here. It's crazy, but it's also like just how we are. We are wired very bizarrely. And so I think we're like even like very subconsciously, whether you know it or not. Also, I've got a lot of new nether quartz. Every Steve needs an Alex. Toyota or Honda, says Jupiter Jamie. I like Honda more because I had a Honda once and it had good air conditioning. And it had the ability to turn on the air conditioning when I wasn't in the car, so that I could get into the car and not melt in the Vegas heat. And then I just assumed, because it was good in that way, that they probably make good cars in all sorts of other ways. I have no clue if they do. I'm not a car person. I don't own a car. It's not who I am. But yeah, it's one of those things, right? So yeah, the Hondas last forever, says Rini. I bet Toyotas last forever too, though. So, I mean, can't even use that to differentiate between the two of them. Okay, so we need to empty out our shulker boxes, including this one, into there. So we are collecting a nice, healthy collection, which is good. I guess we should do the placing... We gotta do a placing Netherite stream soon. Get rid of it all again. But yeah, I also need to go get myself a bunch of more shulker boxes. Like, I guess I have a couple here, but I kind of like those being here. So we'll go across the world. I'll get some fire resistance potions, and I'll get some pickaxes. Sounds good. Let's do it. Yeah, having trust in anyone is such a ridiculously hard thing to do. Like on a conscious level, but on an unconscious level, we have so much trust in everyone. Like, you probably don't even know. Also, I must have a block of Netherite that I just keep here, right? I must do. Or do you think I had the block of Netherite and then I moved it because I do have a whole block of Netherite. Oh man. It takes this long to pick up ancient debris and I just have a whole block of it just lying around. Man. How long did I mine for? Also, I've got ancient debris in here. I feel like the ancient debris should be there though, right? Did I not place it? Okay, no, the ancient debris is over there. I just have a spare one lying around in a chest. I mean, that's just asking me to take it. I mean, appropriate. I mean, it's mine now. Okay, it's mine. Is there a second chest over here? What's in there? Okay, just other stuff. In fact, why all of this stuff should be in there. I should just place down a hopper. Make that all happen. Yeah, there's a big waste for shulker box. Just leave one there. But let's get out of here. Probably shouldn't have stopped. I just had to know, did I have a whole block of Netherite? And I do. I have a whole block of Netherite. Even though I have no more Netherite ingots left besides the one for the frame. And, yeah, I'm here to grab a couple of pickaxes because they apparently break very quickly. Thank you so much, Uvero. Welcome. Thank you for trusting me with your membership monies. Trusting me with your membership money. And I hope that you'll find that if nothing else, I'm good to trust on the sense that you will get the occasional member-only video. You will get those good feelings of supporting someone that you hopefully like some amount. And also, most importantly of all, you will be able to watch Toy Cat bathing in Iron Brew. That's my promise here right now to you. Okay, so let's place our... We're going to place a single brown wool in here somewhere. And we're going to make 13 more beds. The beds are definitely not working for us, but it's called sunk cost fallacy. Sometimes just because something's not working doesn't mean you should stop doing it, you know? So let's make a stack of those. And we get rid of all but 39 of those. So a stack goes in there, and then... Now I can make precisely 13 beds. I definitely need to get rid of this red mushroom and these gravel and these gold nuggets and just all this noise. But yeah, it's going pretty well. So, also I'm going to smelt up this... No, I'm not going to smelt it up. I want to smelt it up, but I want to collect it. It's my big thing. Does anyone know what changed about ancient debris? It's the harem, Lamau. It is the harem, you know? You're a wife, I'm a wife, we're all wives here. Yeah, I hope that, I believe TNT mining is more efficient. I imagine...
In Toy Cat we trust.
In Toy Cat we trust. That, you know, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. I've never heard anything so great, David Solomano. Thank you very much. No, there is a real amount of, like, whether you know it or not, you are kind of trusting people that you expose yourself to. So that's why it's important to pick the right people. That's the whole thing, like, you know when you're in school and, like, you'll hear from, like, parents and teachers, like, don't hang around him, don't hang around the wrong crowd. And you're like, why can't I hang around, like, what sense does it make not to hang around people? I'm not going to become a drug-addicted, you know, like, trailer park person just because I hang around a... See, we don't even have trailer parks in the UK. I just, like, that's my image of, like, the person you're like, oh no, got to avoid them. It's probably a socioeconomic concern that you just see, like, well, if they live if they live in a bad place. That, you know, like, but there is a real thing. Like, if you associate yourself with people who are doing better, you will do better because you set your own bar higher. If you're surrounded by people doing worse, you'll be like, well, this is the norm. You know, people weren't built to do well and achieve. Did I grab more shulker boxes? Only 2. That was a mistake. We'll need more than 2. So cat, aren't you a cat boy? You caught me. I am IBX Toy Cat. And my, I was gonna say like chromosomes, but I think that's offensive. So my feelings are, I have an Adam's apple. No wait, that's offensive. I am, in fact, a boy. There we go. I didn't need to say anything else. You didn't hear anything else. We're all good. Just a diamond one. Yeah, the only reason you need Netherite is for, like, Blackstone, and even then you don't need it. It just exists, you know. So from here, I believe I've got a little staircase that goes down. And then from here... Okay, I've gone too far. I should definitely make a giant mine entrance into this thing somewhere. Okay, so is this where it's gonna be? Yeah, we'll make it like over here somewhere. Okay, so we'll just mine a few blocks over there. And then from here, we'll mine downwards. So one of these will be my Netherite stash. It'll be great. You know, I think everyone has an apple, don't they? I got some bad news for you. No, I think that's one of those like that's one of those things actually. So take the whole thing about like, you know, modern day gender expression, right? If you only hear from people that are like, oh yeah, the only reason those expressions exist is because people want to go into spaces that exist for the other gender and they want to cause some harm, you're like, man, there's this whole new thing that's going on and people are just allowing it. And if you hear from someone like, oh yeah, it allows people, if you have someone in your life who is like, you know, like very that way inclined, or they're like, yeah, this is just, you know, like I need to express myself in a different way because I don't like the way that I'm currently being expressed by, you'd be like, ah, okay, that makes some sense. Okay, awesome. Thank you for letting me know, or something like that. Like the people you're surrounded by, like even down to your like politics to some lesser extent. It's like, yeah, the people around you are shaping that. Because if you hear from someone, if you hear some stuff from someone you know, and they're like, oh yeah, I hear that electric cars are actually poisoning the planet. And you'll be like, whoa, I thought they were good, but you know, this scientist friend of mine says they're poisoning the planet. I didn't look into to see if his things is correct, but like he says it. And then you know, like I don't know. I think that's the power of, if you will, social networks. Also, where's my way down into the actual mine? Okay, is this the separate? This is the actual way down. So I'm gonna make a new way down from here. Or maybe I should just make this wider. Yeah, that's what I'll do instead. I'll just make this one a little bit wider, a little bit more clear. Should be very easy to see, hopefully. Yeah, I think everyone has it, but in men it's more prominent. Wait, women have an Adam's apple? Today I learned. Why is it called the Adam's apple then? You know, this is sacrilege. See, it's never come up that women have Adam's apples before. That's literally never come up. That's crazy. I thought this was unique. Look at my little. Why is it even called an Adam's apple? What does this do for me? And why do women not need one? Can someone explain all of that to me in like 5 words or less? You know, today I learned. Thank you. See, I don't know about anatomy. You know, does anyone know about anatomy? I don't think so. Okay, so let's mine a bunch of blocks over here. Make a nice flattish surface. Just easy gradients, nothing too scary. And then let's head this way again. Oh, I didn't bring a fire resistance potion. Oopsie. Oopsie doopsie. My bad. Okay, and then we're gonna go this way. And we're gonna make a second tunnel. Oh, we'll just make this tunnel bigger, honestly. Yeah, let's, over here, place down shulker. Now let's do this. something I think I'm gonna start doing. Okay, we're gonna burn some stuff we've got lying around. It just is not necessary to the mission. Yeah, I really think that there's a trust issue in the world. When there's a shortage, we're always very aware of like, oh god, how do we fix this? Because it's so much it's so much more responsive not to trust someone than to trust someone. I think that's one of the things people love about like small towns and villages and like that whole lifestyle is like you can generally trust the people you're running across because they have like a reputation to protect. The reason that trust is so hard on the internet is because if Jesse Sarkian lies right now, or doesn't even lie, he just is inaccurate about something. I'm not saying you are Jesse. You know, let's imagine you were. Let's imagine you just make up everything you say. You know, like everyone knows that sort of person. I'll be honest. When I was in school, I was that sort of person. I didn't have a father growing up. And so at one point, one of my friends asks like something about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, my dad has like a hot tub, and you can play like console games from it. It's really cool. You know, and I feel like I've heard that like story of like basically the same thing of like you make up cool things about like non-existent people to like cover it up before. And I think I did the same once. One of my friends asked like, so hey Andrew, you know, we are 14. Notice you don't have a girlfriend. Why is that? It was a weird thing, by the way. Like, you know, that's an example of like, you know, I don't know what the average age that people actually start having relationships is, but everyone wants to believe it's way younger because like, or way lower than it really is. So I was just like, yeah, it's not interested, I guess. But you know, I was interested. I did have, you know, just my aspirations to that point had not been successful to that endeavor. And so yeah, it was it's like a weird thing, like to cover up something you don't have by like making up a way bigger, like not making up a lie, I guess, but like it's a weird thing is what I'm saying. It's a weird thing, and yet it's a common thing, and isn't that an interesting thing? So let's place this and that, and one of those in there, and then let's go on a little mine. So mining these side blocks is a good way to expose some blocks as well. Honestly, just makes a nice little tunnel view as well. There's that. Oh, look at this. Something. I think auto jump is reacting to the block that's free there. Interesting. Being a teenager is so hard. Middle age is so preferable. Yeah, being a teenager is hard. I have a lot of sympathy for people going through it. The transition from like total freedom, no responsibilities, but you know, oh sorry, no freedom but no responsibilities, to not all of the freedom but more and more responsibilities is scary. I think the scariest thing about life is when you have to pick up, like, one of the hardest things is picking up a responsibility. Like, how are you ever gonna do that, man? Like, it's hard to do things all the time, whether you want to or not. Like, it's hard to do things when you want to do them sometimes. Like, sometimes you can spend a whole day and be like, what just happened in this day? I don't think I can reliably inform you. And so to go from, like, being in a world where that's your norm to being like, okay, you gotta pick some things, you gotta be really good at them, and you gotta be really good at helping other people do that thing. You gotta be so good at something that someone wants to pay you so that you'll do that thing for them. I'm not gonna tell you what that is. Just work it out. Okay, bye. That's terrifying. But also, like, you know, like, everything's just getting a little bit harder, and your body, you know, because, like, you know, the human life cycle is going through a whole thing, and your body's, like, aware of all that stuff. So, like, socially, you're having a harder time. Being a teenager is, like, when things are their most intense, I would say. Sometimes that's good. That's why a lot of people are like, I've been a teenager so much. Teenage years were the best years of my life. And that's why some people are like, ooh, yeah, would not go back to those for a lot of money. Because everyone has a different experience. I So Kat, today I thought about that thing you said about how you can be talking to someone and have a sneaking suspicion they're just pretending to know what you're talking about. I lied a lot today. You know, that is a real thing people are doing a lot of the time. You know, it's really scary when you spot someone's doing it with you. You can kind of mess around with it a little bit if you want to be a bad person about it. Ultimately, though, like, even sometimes people are doing you a favor by just giving you the space and pretending to listen. That sounds like it's not really doing a favor. But even just the illusion that someone has heard you is very powerful sometimes. Like, it's obviously better when someone actually has heard you. That's what we're all looking for, to be heard. But yeah, just a fun reminder. Someone is still doing you a favor when they're absolutely ignoring everything you're saying and have no clue what's going on. Because they want to hear it. Or they want to... You know, as long as they're not being rude or like... I don't know. There is a favor being done for you there. Also, I've got some beds I should use. No, I don't. I've got some bed ingredients I should turn into beds. Let's go to my big... There is just no way to indicate what is anywhere around here, is there? I guess I could place some blocks down. Yeah, blackstone's a nice, easy block. I'll place this down to indicate where things are. So, I'll have a little arrow pointing this way. Is that what an arrow looks like? That's what an arrow looks like. If I place one at the top, that'll look like an arrow now. Okay, I give up. I hate the Nether. I don't like it here. Thank you very much, Darren Hughes, for gifting 5 memberships. Welcome to the Cool Cat Club. Cool Cat Club. Oh, Dan Marsh, welcome. Epic Squirrel Backle, Michael Jacobson. You now all have access to get this. Exclusive emojis. You know, I should say exclusive emojis. That's all it is. But also, you can watch the member-only videos on this channel, including me bathing in Iron Brew. Which again, is why it's so fitting. I have a bathtub full of Pepsi right here. It's got some nice feet on this bathtub too, right? This was a high-quality bathtub. So much green. What is this? A lawn? Okay, we finally found it. So we're gonna dump our Netherrack in here, as well as just some of these extra blocks. I bet I have a space for those. Yes, I do. Hey, thank you. This message is false. This message is false. Okay, that message is a lie, chat. Don't trust it. It seems believable, but at the end, you realize what's really going on, and you realize you can never trust anyone or anything ever again. And it's just not worth it. Also, I left my sugar box somewhere. It's gonna be hard to find. It's gonna be a whole thing. Let's make 13 brown beds. I can make almost 13 if I just put my flint away. That's another 1 bed. So I need 2 more. I need 1 more spot after that. Yeah, I'll put the nether ore away. It seems too valuable to do that with, but I'm gonna do it anyway, I think. Hey, username! Thank you for the £50 tip. See what is going on, username? That is a massive tip. What is the reason, the story, the explanation? I'm missing it all. I'm so curious. Did you intend? I think username was intentional, but like, why? What is the story? You need to tell me. I need to know. I need to. Thank you very much though for the £50 tip. That is a mega tip, and I appreciate you. Appreciate you tipping that tip. You know, that's all English, technically valid. We're good. No, that is nuts. If it's not dying from lava, it's iron golems. Those are my 2 favorite forms of death. It is true. So let's go back into the madhouse, and let's make some more explosions. Man, this is... Yeah, you make a long tunnel, and then just off to the side every now and then. That's where we'll have... Oh, this is so weird that the big tunnel goes, like, off to the side in weird places. But yeah, we'll use this tunnel next as our base of operations, from which we will make little offshoots of beds. So we'll place a bed there, because we can't place one anywhere else very easily. Then we'll place a bed over there. We just need to have the bed. We want the beds to be close enough that we can, like, walk from them, but not that they'll destroy each other. So beds go over here. I've got plenty of them. Oh, we have to mine that block, probably. Place it on the ground. No, I can't. Okay, place it on the ground. And then go on this side. Do the same thing. But, I don't know, I guess deeper in the wall this time. Perfect. Then grab another brown bed. I want to do this in fast succession. I think having a nice stack of TNT would be great. Maybe that's what we should have gone back from the overworld, like, because TNT is nice and detonatable from distance. Unlike beds, it doesn't have the same silly rules about it. I think that's way too close to the previous one, but we're fine. You know, let's blow it up just to find out. Was that too close? That was not too close. We're good. Demon Hunter, I love your videos, watched you for years, and seeing your videos brings me joy when I'm feeling down. Thank you for your hard work over the years. Hey, thank you. I'm glad you like them. This is one of my favorite things to do. When people are enjoying them, when it's like, honestly, you know, I'll be honest, like, some of the metrics I use for success are the ones that directly correlate to financial, because that's the way I have to be driven. I don't come from a large source of money where I can say, like, well, it doesn't really matter how well things go. I'll just work. So it's like, it's really cool to see that people, you know, like, someone liked what I made enough to, like, tip is not only a cool thing on, like, a app, but it's also like, whoa, someone appreciated me so much. They used not just their words, which you can use words in anything, like, you know, I tell strangers on the street that they're the most important person I've ever met, and I'll never see someone like them again all the time, when that's a lie. You know, I tell, you know, whenever the person at the self-checkout asks if I want a bag, or not the self-checkout, the checkout, what I say to them is no, but what I really mean is I would like a bag, but I would not like to pay for it. You know? Oh, ancient debris! First time. Heck yes. We all tell casual small lies here and there. But like, you know, like because you can use your words to use, and you know, but you can't really lie with money. You can lie with money by making a check that bounces, probably. I imagine that counts as a money lie. But otherwise, not so much. Also, Jesse Sarkinen. Hey, I mentioned, I missed the 360 graphics. They were my example earlier about, like, well, people can just say anything. Maybe they're lying. Maybe they're lying about missing 360 graphics. Maybe they know that I miss 360 graphics, and they're just saying it because they know that that would be a message that would be well received, you know? Maybe they don't have any feelings about it. Maybe they never even played 360. Who owned an Xbox 360? What, you know, like, that's... When did that console come out? 2005? How old would you have had to be to play a 2005 console? Like, I guess 18. Whoa, the Xbox 360 turns 18 this year. Oh, man. I have aged, and I didn't notice. Chat, you know, new rule. Don't make Toy Cat feel old. You know, that's nuts. Oh, I miss the 360 graphics, too. But I don't miss the... Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to get over that for a while. Okay, so that's a lot of explosions. It's a lot of fire, too. We'll just mine it all away. And then patch up the lava. Look through here. I think that was the only ancient debris we're going to find. The entire thing, sadly. Yeah, I think so. We can remove some fires. I mean, some lava. I guess we can remove some fires, too, by just mining around here. But I think realistically, that's about all we can hope for. But it was nice. We tried. No one could say we didn't. Okay, there's more over here. Is there any... Oh, wait, the ceiling. We haven't been properly checking the ceiling. If you're going to do this, you got to check the ceiling, obviously. I have got 14, which is enough for, like, 4 ingots so far. So that's something. But I'm still only, like, halfway to where I need to be. You know, I've got to keep going, then. I've got to keep going. When in doubt, just believe in yourself. Okay, so... Yeah, I am going to... Oh, wait. Ancient debris up there, too. Wow. Was that the same place that I found the first batch of ancient debris? Who unironically had an Atari. You know what? That's my favorite thing is like, I used to hear people be like, oh yeah. Like, my first console was an N64. And so when people would be like, man, 3D graphics are crazy to me, it's like, no. That's the only way graphics have ever been, you idiot. But then I started seeing people like, unironically be like, oh yeah, it's crazy, the Xbox original was my first console. Like, Halo was the first game I played, or like, you know, the GameCube being someone's first console. And I was like, nah, this isn't happening. But now to hear people be like, yeah, the Xbox 360, crazy console, best memories of my life. It's like, oh man. There was, the 360 for me, okay. Can I tell you a story, internet, about the Xbox 360? The Xbox 360 was such an unreliable console. It would get the something called the red rings of death about 33% of the time. Literally 1/3 of units that they shipped out would have overheating problems. And so that doesn't sound too bad, except obviously that actually is horrific. But it meant that because I played probably an above average amount of Xbox 360, I got these red rings twice. And so the first time I got them, I remember being like, oh yeah, there's a way you do this. Like, you have to ship it off back to Xbox, something. But like, I was like, okay, no more console. And then like, just way later it came back. It's like, oh, awesome. The second time I was just like, well, I guess I don't play Xbox anymore. And so the only phase in my life where I didn't play games was because my only console was an Xbox 360. Oh, more ancient debris. My only console was an Xbox 360 when I was like, I would have been like 12, maybe 11. My only console was 360, and it broke and died, and I have no idea how to fix that. So it's like, well, GG. I guess I am a normie now. I'm gonna go. What do normal people do when they get home? And it was so weird to me to like get back into it. I think everyone who like has this like, I played games and then I got out of them, then got into them feeling of like, oh, wow, this is something, huh? Yeah, I guess that's my equivalent. I can't imagine a company selling a console that doesn't work for a large chunk of buyers nowadays. It's one of the, yeah, I guess, I can't even think about the biggest version of that was similar. I guess the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 used to explode all the time. And it only exploded like 10 times, but, you know, having a phone that explodes is quite a big deal. Is a stolen credit card a super chat lie? Oh, here's the cool thing. So if you super chat with a stolen credit card, that's YouTube's problem, not mine. So like, if you want to commit credit card fraud, well, I don't think I can say that. Credit card fraud is bad and should never be done at any time. Just remember, credit card fraud is what the terrorists would do. Okay, but now to give you the real take here. Also, the bed thing actually worked pretty well that second time. It led to some pretty good outcomes, I would say. We'll destroy a few more of the blocks around here, just because I've got the pickaxes anyway. The blocks aren't going anywhere, but that's fine. Let's just see if there's anything around here. There's not. Okay, we're good. That was swell. That was a nice little time. If you super chat with stolen credit card, because YouTube takes 30%, one of the duties they take up is dealing with chargebacks and refunds or something like that. I remember once I got a tip on a stream. It was like $500, and the person was like, "Can you refund that to me?" And I was like, "I literally can't." I mean, I thought it was a bit of an insane move to be like, "Oh yeah, I tipped the money not because I wanted to give you money, but because I wanted it to like look like I was." And I was like, "Well, that's feels a bit rude, but like, okay, you know, it's just, I appreciate your situation. You've got to contact YouTube. I think they claimed they got the money back, but it didn't like take the money away from me. It was a win-win, is all I'm saying. And so, yeah, if it's not a lie, it's probably a lie as far as YouTube is concerned. Whereas, if you do it via, you know, maybe, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about chargebacks. Honestly, you know, the idea of a chargeback is a really interesting, like, financial idea. Like, if you think about it, right? In the days of cash, you get your money back by being like, you go to the merchant, you say, "Please, may I have my money back?" And it's like a agreement you guys can work out. But in the digital age, this is something you might not know, but if you buy most things, It's really messed with digital goods. It doesn't work so well. So like, that's why I don't recommend trying it online. But if you go into a store and you buy something, and then that thing isn't good. Let's say you even bought an Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 was faulty, and the person who sold you the console is like, not our problem. You can make it their problem by issuing a chargeback. You can say, I did not receive the goods promised. You will make this right. And they have to. If they don't make it right, then they don't get to keep your money. Yeah, if you live in the US, I believe it's only for credit cards. But if you live in the UK, you can do one on a debit card too. Like you can, if you paid money to someone using your your little piece of plastic, you can do that. Seems like such an American thing to do, give a $500 super chat and then ask for it back. I wonder if that's ever happened at dinner, actually. Like, you know, like tip $500, make a big show of it, and then like say, oh, forgot my phone in there, I'm gonna go back and get it. And then be like, hey, I gave you $500, I cannot afford that. Please give me $495 of that back, please. You know, you can keep the change. Yeah, I wonder how classy is that, chat? I believe tipping is like a class indicator, right? It's like you show people that like, ooh, yes. I could not give someone money right now, and yet I choose to do it anyway. Sort of thing. Is that classy? Give your waiter a $500 super chat. I think they'd be very confused. Give your waiter a $500 super chat and say, trust me, bro, look at the money, it's in my hand. Just give me your bank account details and I'll get it in there by the end of the day. I guess in America, everyone just uses Venmo or Cash App, right? Oh, I signed up for Cash App recently, chat. Can you give your Cash App tag to strangers, or is that a bad idea? Because I always see people on Twitter being like, oh, if you liked this. Or like, you know, you see, I know it's like a common thing. Like I've seen like, you know, pictures of people with like, they'll put their Cash App on their car, be like, buy me some groceries. Can you just give your Cash App to anyone, or is that like, can you reverse engineer that to work out, like, you know, the person's like, I don't know, something bad? Is that like PayPal? Yeah, it's like also howdy Toy Cat. The letters.
Howdy Toy Cat. The letters J and CH sound too much alike. This stupid thought kept me up last night. Jump chump, jar char, just chest, joke
Jump
joke.
and chump.
Here is your allowance.
Jest and chest. Yeah, if you do it, you know, if you do it in the southern accent, I think that y'all jesting around in y'all chest. I think in a British accent they're quite distinct. Like, the jester opens the chest. I guess actually I see the similarity there. Now that you say it. You know, the J sound is kind of a fake sound, right? I don't like to call out sounds like this. But J is definitely not, it's not a top tier noise, is it? I mean, you know, if there was gonna be one, we wouldn't say it was J, would we? We would not arrive at that conclusion. Yeah, it's such a nightmare to, you know, I'm just gonna make a big old tunnel. And we'll find... No, it's gonna be lots of distinct tunnels. I know it logically, I just don't want to believe it. Is this my main tunnel, or what even is this? I'm so lost again. Okay, this is the big tunnel of the things. And so from here, we'll just go a few blocks left. All the way through this. Okay, not through that, we'll go like round here. And then we'll start mining through this. Okay, perfect. So that's something up there. Make sure that's visible. And I guess from here, we'll start mining over there. We will eventually hit a big hole in the ground, but that's fine. I just want to find ancient debris. I'm so close to my goal. And by that, I mean I'm within, like... I'm not that far from my goal. Oh, wow, a free bed that I just lost. I forgot about these, I guess. Ooh, that was dangerously close. Awesome. I guess I might as well... Yeah, I guess I just forgot 2 whole beds. That's amusing. Big explosion resulted in not a lot of discoverable blocks. The fires might be hiding something, but I don't think that's true. Well, that was nice anyway. It's always nice to find extra maybe there's more beds I haven't exploded, honestly. Over here, maybe? On the right. Did you hear that noise? That was concerning. That didn't sound healthy. It's not what you want necessarily. You did hear that, right, chat? Was that an Enderman? I tried a weighted blanket once and said nope. I've been sleeping with a weighted blanket, but it's been basically just a normal blanket. I think I need to get like a really heavy one that makes me go like, oh god, I will never be able to leave this blanket. If there is an emergency in the night, I am trapped. You ever feel that way about like hotel beds? Like, I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but they tuck them in so tight, and you have to like fight it out, you know? Is there a fun reason we do this? Is this a part of the dance? You know, you meant to tip them better if they do that well. Is that the social contract that I've been missing? We're gonna now throw some Netherite in the box. It just makes sense to do it, right? Got all this Netherite, got all this box. Combine the two things together. Okay, mine the box. Make sure it doesn't go in the fire. Really, it's been so long since I went out to the end city, but I bet it wouldn't go well. Yeah, that's a scary noise. That's a weird Enderman noise. Do not like it. I've heard hotels never wash the top blanket too. Oh yeah, if it's like a blanket like a furry fuzzy thing, they don't wash that. Yeah, or they'll wash it if it gets like visibly dirty, but they can't wash it every time. Honestly, people who are like, oh, I think everything should be washed every single time it's used, you're insane. I mean, like lots of things like we can wash every time we use them. Like I think cutlery is a nice easy example. Like, yeah, you'll have food and germs and, you know, potential, like it's not, sure, wash cutlery every time you use it. I think you could probably get away with like eating 2 meals in a row of the same cutlery and no one's dying. It's, you know, there's no real loss being had there. But also, let's not bother. It smells good, by the way. I can smell something cooking. I just don't think about the not washing and it's okay. Yeah, that's the funny thing about any communal space in life, is you have to accept that lots of things about that space aren't going to be washed regularly, and that they're perfectly enjoyable if you don't think about it. Like, honestly, I know the pandemic was a great time for germaphobes. The whole world started listening to them, and they're like, wow, look what a great point we're raising. But the reality is, like, it doesn't make sense to wash most things most of the time. Like, you know, I know the craziest example a lot of people didn't know about till planes started doing it is a lot of planes started doing like deep cleans, which meant like they started washing the plane between. It's like, wait, so you just go with it? You sit in a seat that someone's just been sitting in for 12 hours, and then before that, someone sat in for. It's like, yeah, they do a deep clean once every 3 months, and during the pandemic, they're like, we'll do it once every 3 weeks. Ooh, look at our commitment to hygiene. But a lot of people would just be like, oh my god, the amount of human grime that builds up. Or if you think about public transport, you know, this is true for an Uber too, I guess. But like, if you look at the seats on public transport are designed to hide the grime, the gross, you know, all the noise there. And so if you ever tap them, so much dust comes out of it. And yeah, again, so many things in society you just have to not think about. Like, I'm sure anyone who likes animals, right? If you ever eat like a steak or a cheeseburger, you have to kind of like we all do very good at this, actually. I would say you just zone out the fact that you're eating an animal. You don't think about it. Like I know, like I literally, you know, if I see a burger, I do not mentally have any association to a cow. I think people who are like really into that, like, it's probably better to be disconnect. I know, like, society relies on you disconnecting your. It's called suspension of disbelief in like movies and TV shows and stuff. But like, you need to suspend your horror for certain things. Oh, also, wow, ancient debris. Thank God. We had a bad run, but it's going good now. Okay, that's 2 more. We're 6 away, chat. We're 6 away. You've got to suspend your sense of hygiene. Otherwise, you're gonna have a very bad time. Okay. And then go a few more blocks, and then mine this way. If you don't suspend your sense of hygiene, you'll have a very bad time. In so many public settings too. Like, I don't know, like if you go to a coffee house, and then I wouldn't mind the meat. I wouldn't mind meeting the cow I'm chewing on. Steak good. I can't burger because I'm allergic to cows and meat in general. Hence been vegan for over a year. Hey, Mikey McCouch. I had a I think now's the best time to be vegan. I had a for lunch I made some Beyond Meat tacos today, and I'm a big proponent of the idea. Like, my genuine belief is that like, for vegan food to be successful, it needs to be as good or better than, you know, normal people food, right? And so there's a few things that are like, if you think about the way that the fat distribution works in meat, it's a really inefficient process because you have to have a biological animal be raised. It's really inefficient to have to grow an entire cow and then have to perfectly, you know, get it right to get. Whereas you can distribute fat content in a pretend steak very easily. Same with like a, you know, like, I don't know, like, but right now we have really, really good low-end meat. Like, it's really, like, I like Beyond Meat better than I like burgers. Like, it's delicious. It has a taste to it, and you can cook it as rare as you like. If you cook a rare steak, you might die. You cook a rare Beyond Burger, I think it can give you indigestion if you go rare enough, because there's pre-proteins or something in there. But yeah, I had some super rare. I had some meat for lunch today that might kill you if it were made from an animal. No, actually, it was pretty well done today. But you know, the fact that I can have my meat like deadly level, you know, I can pick the deadly setting, and not die. That's cool in my opinion. That's an improvement. And I think now you're living in the time of like the most research being done into veganism. Partially because a lot of people became vegan for the climate recently, right? They're like, oh, I really care about the climate and I don't know what to do, so I'll stop eating meat. Because, you know, like, you can't not... All of the other big sources of emissions you can't really change. But if you know, if every year you save one cow, that makes quite a big difference. You know, like, eventually, if enough people do it, I guess. In the same way that, like, getting one car off the road makes literally zero difference. But if everyone stopped driving, that would be a big signal to send. But yeah, I let the blood... Ooh, I should not be reading chat while I'm mining forwards. What's your preference for meat taste-wise, animal or substitute? Oh, for steaks, and... yeah, honestly, for steak, it has to be real. For everything else... you know, there's no high-end, like, a dining experience like that, right? Like the classic steak. I would say probably, like, cold-cut meat is also not as good. Everything else I'm, like, somewhat neutral. Like, if you're frying chicken, does it matter if it's chicken or if it's, like, some weird stuff? Probably not, in my opinion. If you can do this with everything. Like, the less important the meat is to the dish, the easier you can substitute it. Or rather, the more you ignore the actual flavor of the meat and just cover it with something else. With Beyond Meat being the exception, where, like, that is a flavor I want to savor. Ooh, a flavor I want to savor. I like to rhyme, and so I do it all the time. I guess we should just keep you on this. A lot of cows living properly in the field wouldn't have a life if they weren't going to be eaten. This is... Okay, I love this, I love this line of questioning. Every time I speak to a vegan about it, they get like... But, I love this, like... Because it's a real thing, right? If you are a cow, chicken, or the one that goes oink, if you're one of those, you are in a really, really, really good position as a species right now, or a really bad one, depending on how you see it. You could see it as they are in, like, no species besides humans is doing as successful as cows, because no species has another species taking care of them, making sure they don't get sick, because cows are an investment. They cost like $10,000 a moo, you know? I think 10,000 is actually on the low end. Like you can spend more than that on a cow if you want to. So you know, now is a great time to be a cow on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's like no, it's the worst time. They're being bred. You wouldn't say humans are doing well. Like, oh yeah, like you don't say Nazi Germany did great. But I shouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that Mr. Mustache Man Germany isn't doing great as a country. Is doing great as a country because like, well, they're just making so many of them over there. You'd say like, wait, no, it matters more like if they're getting joy from their experience and existence. And so yeah, if everyone went vegan tomorrow, if just no more meat could ever be consumed, we all became allergic to meat tomorrow, right? No one can eat it. Then even if we keep some animals around because they're cute, we would go from having hundreds of millions of livestock animals to having hundreds of thousands. And so loads of cow, chicken, pig lives would not exist. It's a bit of a weak argument to say they would probably want that. I think cows, pigs, and chickens don't want anything. You know, if you actually, like, I don't know, I think it's a bit of a stretch to say that you know what they want. But there is a truth to that, right? Their life's only, they get a whole life, and in exchange, all we want is to kill them when they're done. Obviously, there's a lot of inhumane things that happen in between, because you know, like if the way that a person would raise meat probably is like, yeah, you have an animal, and then when the animal reaches its maturity, you kill it and you eat it. That's like that's the classic hunter-gatherer. The thing that makes people uncomfortable, you know, is because of the fact that we raise these animals not in conditions that are best for them, but in conditions that create the most profit. Every industry on this planet operates in the way that lowers prices for consumers. Like most people, you know, if you think about meat long enough, you're like, actually, I'd like to have a happy chicken in my burger. But most people just go, I will take the cheap chicken burger. I don't care if it's grass-fed, corn-reared. What do these words even mean? That's true. Animals get eaten alive if humans don't care.
That's true. Animals get eaten alive if humans don't take care of them for food later. Winking face.
You know, it's true. That's no. What happened, right? Is like we use a lot of human land that we want. Oh wow, 2 in a row. Perfect. We use human land that we want human things for. Also, is this 2 next to each other, or is this just one vein that's gone a little bit crazy? Oh, I think I'm 1 away now, chat. Unless it goes further up. It doesn't. Yeah, I needed... No, wait, I'm not 1 away. Unless I just didn't pick... Okay, I'm 1 away after this. Oh, I see it over there. That is just 2 veins or 3 veins next to each other. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, wow, yeah, this was 3 veins, I think. Or maybe it's 2. Either way, it's really good luck. But no, so the land that we currently, so just Jones, I totally agree. Like animals don't just stop existing if we're not going to eat them later. As funny as that is, the picture. Don't get me wrong, I think it's hilarious, the picture. But the problem is, we use land which could be used for other things. Like, even if in the laziest case, you just be like, yeah, well, farmers will grow soybeans instead. Okay, and now where do the cows live? And so, you know, like maybe you let them die of natural... In the best case, you let them die of natural causes, right? You say, all these animals, we'll wait till they die, and when they die, we'll let them fertilize the land. But that takes a long time, and so what really happens is we can't eat meat tomorrow because we're all allergic. There's a big... Farmers go around the yard with a shotgun and go, ch-ch, and then they politely and humanely put down the animals. But yeah, it's an interesting thought experiment about, like, you know, is it good for animals as a whole? Like, because the answer is probably, it can't actually, like, the net experience isn't good, but also there are negatives to if we all couldn't eat meat, right? That's what makes that messy and confusing, and like, oh yeah, it's a little bit, it's like one of those like Coke things. It's like you know, it's like I know electric cars are bad for the environment right now because we haven't got a green source of electricity. Most electricity still comes from like coal and gas, and so when you use an electric car, you don't see the emissions. They're all happening at a power plant. And so you can say, well, therefore it's just as good if I drive my 93 Chevy down the road. I love my Tahoe. It's such a good truck. I use it all the time for when I need to get groceries back from the local Kroger. I just love my Chevy Tahoe, and I will drive that until the day that it dies, which will not be very far from now. But you know, it can be like a lot of people take that and they go, well, therefore electric be bad. But in reality, the actual the actual point there is like, well, there are downsides to the new system, but they are vastly outweighed by the downsides in the current system. Also, wow, we're doing really... I don't want to stop while we're on such a roll, you know? Because I want to get... Okay, so chat, now that I've got enough to make my Netherite block that I need for my Let's Play purposes, now I want to get enough to make some like, later I'm going to want to do some Netherite trim stuff, right? So let's get some spare Netherite ingots for that. Yeah, this is going real good for me. Cows exist in India. There's a lack of beef burgers in India. There's a lack of meat in general there. No, they definitely eat chicken and they eat chicken over there. They can't. In general, like it's quite weird. Here's a fun thing about India you might not know. They're really big on chicken as a meat because they kind of have to be. Cows are sacred to Hindus, and a lot of the country is Muslim, and so pork is. It's not sacred. I don't know why it's not sacred. You know, Muslims should make pork sacred rather than like... They just find it disgusting. They're like... bacon. Pork loin. Can't eat it. I mean, that's obviously... That's me turning a religion into a 5-second visual action. But that's the rough of it. Yeah, we got 34 ancient debris. That's good. We got enough to make a whole extra ingot. Now I want a whole extra 2 ingots. You know, I wanna have leverite armor, and also make a few extra pieces of something. I don't know. Would be good. Would be good. Very accurate representation. Thank you. Man, I want bacon and a pork tenderloin. Man, pork belly's so good. I didn't just like. This is one of those things like I was talking about. Like, oh yeah, if you don't have someone around you to tell you about things. So you don't learn about new cuts of meat, especially like I grew up with a vegetarian, then vegan, then vegetarian mother. So like I never learned about meat and cuts, and like the only meat I got was when she was lazy, so I went to McDonald's. So the only animal that existed was the McDonald's animal, which I just assumed was chicken, because generally speaking, when people say meat and they don't clarify one, they usually mean chicken. So I assumed the burger in McDonald's was chicken. I was like, wow, you know, it sure is fun. When someone said it was beef me once, I was like, you sure? Pretty sure that's chicken in there. Like that's my level of understanding about the meats, like from my parents, right? And so, or parent, maybe. And so one day I don't know if I had it somewhere, if someone just recommended, like, yeah, get you some pork belly. It's so good when you do this to it. Like, yeah, one of my friends said, like, throw it in the slow cooker with just some apple something. Also, thank you very much, Darren Hughes, for gifting 5 more members. Hey, 469. Yeah, I thank you, by the way. I hope that Odd Dragon enjoys access to Toy Cat Baby and Iron Brew. An idea I floated recently. Also, hey, more ancient debris. This is working. See? So I got 36. This is now without the extra ancient debris I have. This is exactly what you need to make a block of Netherite. That is how hard that is to make. It took me 2 hours and 9 minutes to do so. Obviously, I could have done so more efficiently, and you know, you can go to the moon if you just drive far enough, but that doesn't mean you should do it. That's factually true. Don't check that. Actually, let's go back and mine. Let's mine where the okay, where did I find the ancient debris? Was it over here? Let's mine a little bit more around, just in case. You never want to just give it up. You never know precisely what's happening. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat steak like a man, nerds. No, so like when I first, so the only time I had steak would be at my grandparents'. And you know what steak with your grandparents means? It means they buy the cheap big bags, and they're like, wow, this is a steak technically. This is a classy type of food. So the first time, you know, I'd go out to like a steak place, and they're like, which cut of meat do you want? And I'm like, why do they all cost different amounts? Surely if they're all steak, I'll go with the cheapest one, you idiots. But even like the cheap, I don't know what it is. Like even that's like amazing. Like I was so confused about steak for so long. Again, like this is why you need to like, if you are like me and you grew up in a house where you just didn't learn about meat, it's like, it's so weird that like, yeah, there's all these cuts of beef that taste quite different. They've got different like fat profiles and whatnot. So there's all these different cuts of meat, right? And they've all got very different, like, you know, like if you, but then here's the weird thing: steaks can cost like 100, 200. Like one of my first ever splurges from YouTube in like 2016. It's like once I've been doing it for 4 years, I was doing pretty well. I spent $100 on a meal in Washington D.C. Apparently that actually isn't very much there, but it was a lot. It was a huge expenditure, and I remember being like, wow, everything about this is just an experience. And so ever since then, it's been like, yeah, it's one of the things I can just really enjoy. Also, ancient debris. Wow, we are just two veins next to each other. Oh no, I think it's just one and it skipped a block. Unless this is a free. If this is a free, then that's definitely another. You know, it's weird the way that ancient debris spawns, but I'll take it. I'll totally take it. Pork shoulder is overlooked and cheap. So yeah, there's all these like things, right? Like chicken thigh versus chicken breast, I want to say is the other one. There's all this stuff you need to know about meat, and it's like, just it doesn't. You don't learn about it, right? They don't teach you. So yeah, like steak is an expensive thing. Like it is still to this day. It's my go-to. Like, wow, I am splurging on this meal. But yeah, at the same time, if you go to like a diner in America, you can have a steak for $11 or something like that, and they'll give you eggs and toast on the side too. It's like, yeah, different type of steak. We use the word steak to define a lot of things. We use the word pork, you know, like I don't know, I guess this is like a valuable. Like, there's no other food where you get away with being like, this is a burger. And you're like, but there's no buns, there's no meat, this is a plate, this is a bowl of soup. And they're like, oh, but you don't understand, the soup came from the same plant. Oh, sorry, the soup has this piece of bread on the side, and a burger is just defined as any meal containing bread. You would be outraged, but with meat, you're just allowed to be like, yep, this is a steak. This is chicken. Even though there's lots of parts of chickens that taste and have different flavor and you know, like texture profiles. It's fascinating, the world of like, again, like let's just say animal products, right? Same with milk, like, you know, like there's 2% milk, 0% milk, and like what is the other? I don't know what it is in America, but in the UK we have full fat, semi-skimmed, and skimmed. And like they're all quite different. I always say this to people. To me, milk tastes like water, and that's, you know, like I don't understand why that is. But it's not all milk that tastes like water. It's when you add the fat to it that it tastes like water to me, which makes the opposite of sense. You'd figure that would be what makes it taste the best. But yes, I like 2% milk. See, people who say they like 2% milk, what's the other 98% of what you like then? You know, what is in that mixture? You know, that's my high quality joke. We'll be here all evening. Actually, I won't be here all evening. I do have things to do. Sadly, you know, I'd love to talk about animals all night. But yeah, no, that's an example of like, you see what I was talking about there? There's a whole system of like explanations of things. Just imagine Gordon Ramsay restaurants. There's a whole system of explanations and things that you need to know. And, you know, like, you can learn those from a parent, maybe, but you can't learn everything in life like that from a parent. Maybe that's the example where, like, maybe I should have, but, like, you know, mine didn't care or know enough to teach me, because, you know, it was literally a... So, you know, like, if you take all of that together, you realize quite quickly we have quite the need for. I think we have quite the need, at least. Also, I hope this is the right way. I don't think it is. I don't know where I've ended up instead, but my chests were meant to be over here. This is too confusing. How do I ever find those chests? I should like I can't just do that every time I need to find them, right? That seems like insanity. We're gonna take all of our nether quartz with us though, because it is valuable. Any in here? Okay, and then we're gonna go find our shulker box. Then we're gonna get out there. We could do some casual mining of the sides while we go. Like, it's probably not gonna result in anything, but it's always worth a try, right? You never know what it will result in. You never know. Okay, well sometimes it goes lava. That's a definite fact of the universe. Cows only have 1 to 3 steak and 0 to 2 leather. See, Yuvario, that is factually accurate. Defo move into religion now. Like, having people to trust around you is important. Actually, that is a thing people get from religion, right? Like, the thing that a lot of people actually struggle with is finding people who have shared values and meaning to them. And, like, the cool thing about online is we can do that now and be like, yeah, I want a life that is easy. I don't want a life where someone else gets to decide what I do all day. Lots of communities around that. There's communities around the idea of, like, wow, there are these lazy people who don't want to do anything and want us to provide everything for them. You know, the opposite end of what I'm saying. Who want to have all the benefits of working in the world without any of the drawbacks. There are communities of people who have a shared value set that is like, man, I believe there is a person who created this all, and this isn't all just madness and chaos and whatnot. I believe this was planned by a divine being. And there are communities of people who go, man, have you heard about those idiots who believe in the divine being? And the things they expect everyone else to do because they believe, you know, they have an imaginary friend they're still in love with. We're all looking for that meaning and understanding, and like we're all looking for someone to trust and to go with all of it. I think that is like the biggest issue for a lot of people. Is like, where do you find that meaning in your life? We need a, you know, that's the funny thing about people to me. It's like, we want to be useful to the world so bad. We want to be, we want the world to look at us and say, wow, you are we want to be moving towards this like human purpose, but we don't really have a shared human purpose. We have a whole collection of individual purposes. I believe children of the future, teach them well and let them lead the way. I believe children are the opposite. Another fun evening with Toy Cat parasocialization, like a bar, but drinking alcohol is completely optional. Drinking from bathtubs, on the other hand, non-optional. Thank you, Tara W, for becoming the 470th channel member. Appreciate you joining the Cool Cat Club. Yeah, no, it's, the members have been going up and down so much recently. Like, that is the one downside of the gifted membership program. It's obviously, the upside is, like, a lot more members in the highs. But, yeah, can we just discontinue children? See, right, there's another fun example. Like, I actually believe, I don't believe in children as a whole. I don't think children learn or don't learn anything. I think children just, like, children can't commit or believe in anything. That's literally the laws. We have laws that, like, that say that in more or less words. Like, you are responsible for your child. As soon as, like, again, like, in this teenage phase where you become something, I think that's the phase that I believe in, like, we could help people out a lot and we could make the world a lot better. If instead of teenagers running around thinking, like, the only cause they could benefit is, like, burning things down. Did I get my shulker box in the end? I did, thank God. Okay. If you, children used to be property. Children are property. We might say they're not property now, but they're 100% your property. Do you want them to have their hair dyed blue? That's your decision, not theirs, right? That is how children work. Is that how children should work? Well, I mean, isn't that a very interesting, different question that we're not answering? Okay, so we are really running up to the limits of what we can store in a chest here. 100% in absolute need. In dire need, maybe even. Okay, we can take this one out. Max out some stacks that are missing. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Get another stack in there. But yeah, you know, my anti-children rant is just too strong. I know. This orange shulker box has 2 more stacks in it. And so, look at that. We can fill this up too. And yeah, I think that's probably about as well as we're doing. Actually, wait, now we have a perfectly filled chest. So we've now got 9 stacks of, what is that, 1,700? We got like almost 20,000 netherrack here, plus a bunch in the nether. We're ready to do a bunch of stuff with that, and I'm excited for when that starts to happen. My blackstone needs to go somewhere. God, if I know where that is. This works fine for me. Just disorganize things sometimes. It will make your life easier in the future. Throw my gravel in here. Throw my nether quartz in here. I'm just picking it up in such large quantities. But still not enough to be quite useful, you know? Darren Hughes, would be better to give membership or tips for your channel. The best way to support channel is always via Streamlab tips. The link down below. It is the reason it's best is because instead of YouTube taking a 30% cut, it is it's like direct support, right? It's the money goes straight to, like, there's a 5% fee for payment processing or something, but it's the most direct way. I think that, like, the best way to support is the way you want to. Like, I say this a lot, but one of the real cool things to me about supporting a channel, or like supporting anything you care about, like, I'm not gonna pretend it's just YouTube channels that I try to be a good patron of. But okay, look at this. We can smelt it up, and we'll have 44. Oh, we don't have. Should we go get some lava? I bet I have some lava chilling in one of these. There we go. Yep, just great. Throw it in there. Okay, we are now. I need to go get some gold. Please tell me I've got a stack in here. Oh, 18 gold blocks. This looks a lot like my ender chest in my world. A little bit worse organized, or maybe better organized. But we'll need like 4 of those. Turn them into blocks and we'll be good. I am looking forward to this smelting up. I hope that you've enjoyed coming with me for the journey today. I think, like I said, I think supporting things genuinely feels good. I think if you try it and you're like, I didn't like this actually, that's interesting. But I don't think that is the norm. I think most people are like, oh wow, yeah, it's like what I was saying, like, if you make something slightly better than it was before, I think usually you'll feel good about that. I tell my daughter to tell people she has naturally blue hair and that she gets it from me. Anyway, yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Children must be Rodso Cat. They're the only people who watch and fund you, aren't they? We are all 13-year-olds here, remember, chat? We are all 13-year-olds here. Anyway, I hope that you've all enjoyed this stream. Thank you for showing up and for sharing your evening with me. Tomorrow will be my last stream for a bit, and then I've got some fun that I'll let you know about as it comes up. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this, because I'll see you in the next one. You know what, I mean, I'm going to be here for a bit anyway. So, what should I do with all this Pepsi Max I have now, chat? I can drink it, but I don't know if I should really do that. Yeah, give me some good ideas for my Pepsi Max bathtub. The ice cubes melted. It's interesting. I guess that was too much liquid. If I pour it, there's a nice angle you can get there. It looks like a giant. It looks like a spoon that's like just been really increased in size, right? There's still straws floating in there. Can you see those? I don't know if you can. Donate it to charity. You can make noodles in it. I bet I could. Honestly, wait. What happens if you boil? Okay, well, one sec. I need to know this right now. Can you boil pasta in soda? Can you boil pasta in milk? Whoa, that sounds fun. Also, thank you, Katina. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Thank you for showing up. Okay, you can boil pasta in milk, first of all. So that's really interesting. Okay. Can you boil pasta in soda? Whoa. Okay. No, that's something else. Apparently it's weird. Apparently it doesn't work quite right. Well, chat, I think I found my next video. I've got in America I've got some cooking stuff that I won't be able to use for much longer. So if I damage it, what's the worst that can happen? Yeah, I'll get like a what drink should I use? Like Mountain Dew would be my dream because it's like the it'll be. Should I use like a Mountain Dew or like a knockoff Mountain Dew, like a Dr. Shasta or whatever it's called? Will taste odd in soda. Try it. Yeah, if the liquid boils the noodles, cook, my guy. You know, it'll be great. Ramen Dew. Okay, that's gonna be great. I'm gonna do that. I do have some. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep. Get rid of this rain, and then say thank you for watching. I hope you have a great night. I've got some stuff to do, and I hope that I'll see you tomorrow for my Netherite stream. Okay. I'm actually going to start publishing more of those videos. It seems like people are liking them, even with they're absurdly long. So I'll be publishing those if you want to watch them. But if you don't want to watch them, then the Let's Play will be out on Monday, where all the Netherite scrap will be revealed its true purpose for. Anyway, yep, goodbye. Do you have multiple houses? Yeah, I live in a cave, and I live in this brick thing over here. Honestly, not that far off describing my two. Whatever. Anyway, have a good day. See you.